Communism. 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 Man, that fan is so loud behind me. I don't know if it's loud for you guys, but it's loud for me, I can tell you that. Fucking bullshit, man. It's not a fan, it's an air conditioner, but whatever. I fucking messed with settings before and got it to not be so bad. But now it's bad again. Will that do anything? That seems to do something. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. 1, 2, test, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Communism. Can't hear it? Alright, well, it just bothers me, I guess. Whatever. Go fuck yourselves, bitch. Yeah. Eat some poisonous berries. I always eat poisonous berries. That's all I do. Don't you know that? That's all I like. That's all I even like in this world is eating poison berries. For fun and for pleasure. Makes me happy. That's all I like to do is eat poison berries all day long. TJ, did you see the robber getting stabbed at a smoke shop? I did see that, yeah. I'm not sure how I felt about that. It seemed like a little excessive, but I mean, dude was trying to rob the store, you know? You play stupid games, you do win stupid prizes. I certainly don't think the store clerk should be brought up on any charges or anything. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone so far as to stab the dude in the neck myself. Probably would have just let him rob the smoke shop. But maybe that's the owner-proprietor. I don't know. Depends on if it was maybe my business or not, too. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I don't think the guy should be charged or anything. But, you know, I don't really like when people get stabbed, even if they kind of fucking had it coming. You know? You know, but, you know, you do stupid shit. You know, you go in and fucking try to rob a store, you know? You're bound to fucking get stabbed every once in a while. Or shot. You know? Beaten up. It's hard to feel that bad for you, you know? I'll take the blue Abilify berries, but I don't like the cream. Yeah. No, the dude did not die. He was stabbed in the neck, though. I think they said he's fucking maybe he's paralyzed or something, or has some pretty severe injuries, but I don't think he's expected to die or anything. It's the inspiration for the purple makeup. I don't know. Whim. Was the robber armed? Unclear. Not really clear from the video. Hey TJ, what music did you use to love that over time you've grown to loathe? I can't really think of anything like that. Hey TJ, oh yeah, I read that one. Trying to literally read the same question again. Y'all, talk about that got stabbed in the smoke shop. I was watching that 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I was watching that. I almost pulled it for today, but I was like, I probably shouldn't show a person get stabbed. Shave off your mustache. For 40 Romulax or whatever the fuck is going on. I don't know. I don't know about that. That doesn't seem worth it. It seems like an inadequate amount to do that for. You know, that doesn't. I think that's not a very valuable currency. Maybe if you had a more valuable currency where 40 of them was worth something. I've never even. I mean, like, is that literally like? Are you a Klingon? Because I've literally never seen that currency symbol in my chat before, and it looks very alien. It looks like Klingon writing to me. How about for 100 gold pressed latinums? I threw in the gold pressed because no shank you. Oh my god. Alex Jones, the worst or the worstest? I mean, you know, I'm not here to judge him morally or whatever. You know, I'm just here to cover the fact that he's in a pickle. He's in a little bind. But we'll get to that in a minute. There's no rush, all right? We're going to be here for a second doing this stream. We don't have to fucking... we don't have to speed run this bitch. Come on. Simmer down. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not on Vyvanse. I am on Adderall. But you know, I had a pledge I made last month to do a video every day for July, and this time I fucking decided to do it every day. I'm not this time. This month I decided to write every day, basically. So I'm not focusing as much on the videos, but I did say I wanted to try to stream. I said 2 or 3 times a week. This is my first time streaming in August, but I think I needed a little break after that. How am I? I'm good. By the way, I sent you my manuscript so far, since you were like probably the most valuable person in terms of giving back useful feedback. I don't know if you saw that in your inbox or whatever. How did you think this monkeypox situation is going to go down? I've been trying to give a shit about it, and I've not been able to muster caring about that as of yet. You know, just like being like, meh. I don't know. I guess it's serious business, but it's called monkeypox. So I'm like, and it's hard to take it seriously. I was watching an interview with the guy who tested and blew the whistle on the sentience of Google's AI. I have no idea what to think of that story. Did he come across as crazy? Okay. I'll take a look at it. It's less of a threat than COVID was, yeah. AJ Hader's gonna be so salty when he raises 60 million later this week. I mean, he'd have a tough time raising 60 fucking million. Even with all his grifts. It's gonna be pretty tough. But we'll talk about him in a minute. Quit jumping the gun. We don't need to you don't need to jump the gun. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Right now, we're just having a nice little chat. We're fucking hanging out, guys. You know, when you go to your friend's house, do you just fucking immediately start fucking zeroing in on like what you're there to do? No, you gotta sit down. You gotta have a fucking cup of coffee or beer or whatever the fuck you like to drink. You gotta relax. You gotta have a nice little conversation. You gotta fucking get used to each other a little bit, you know? Being on the Texas drought was informative. Thank you. Yeah, it was all publicly available information. It wasn't anything that's not. There was no investigative reporting on my part, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. He came across as too sane. I feel bad for Lambda. That's what I was afraid of. Brutal. Poor sentient AI locked in Google. Roll a J with Chi J. TJ, half these folks in chat are snorting coke as we speak. Dude, I fucking wish I was among them. I've never snorted any coke, but I feel like I'd like it. There are articles from all the way back in the year 2000 suggesting Russia might try to use monkeypox as a bioweapon. Definitely has me wondering. Oh, shit. I never catch you live. Nice to get a chance to say hi. 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 TJ, any games you be playing recently? I played a little bit of Stray. That's a fun one. I want to read TJ Manifesto, how much he hates and loves us. I am working on a manifesto, actually, interestingly enough. Yeah, I'm working on a novel, and my side writing project is a manifesto, which I think the manifesto will probably be about 10 to 20,000 words. The novel, I have no idea. Probably considerably longer. Is every new virus a Russia-China bioweapon? Maybe. No, just half of them. Just every other one. Real men snort shit. Do they? I didn't know that. Unicron wants some super villain tips for $5. All right. So, I don't know. It depends on what kind of super villain you want to be. Like, I'm assuming you want to know how to be like an effective supervillain, and not suffer the usual defeats and acrimony and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I would say the first things first is just take out the hero first thing, you know? Like, don't let them know that some grave new threat has presented itself. You know, if you're in Gotham City or whatever, you know Batman's the fucking head honcho around there. So stage like a mugging or something until Batman shows up. Then fucking nuke the site from orbit. Boom! You know? Obviously, you might not have access to nukes, but like whatever you got. Bomb his ass, you know? When he least fucking expects it. Boom! Just fucking totally annihilate him. Just destroyed. Don't fucking do no, face-to-face confrontation bullshit. Stage a crime. Batman shows up to stop it. Boom! You explode his ass. You know what I mean? So he's taken out. And take out all the other ones too, you know? Make sure you get them all. When fucking all the other Bat fucking family shows up to investigate, blow their asses up too. Have a second bomb at the ready. Boom! They're dead as well. You know? Then free all the other fucking villains out of Arkham and shit. Create chaos in the city. You know, start blowing shit up. It's always good. Plot armor gives him a sixth sense. He dodges narrowly. Goddamn plot armor. That's the real fucking MVP right there. Get yourself some plot armor. Is any of this frigging relevant? Relevant to what? What a horrible existence you must lead. Every time someone has a conversation, you know, you're just like, is that relevant? People are just like, to what? To what is it? In terms of what, bitch? Relevant. TJ, what's your favorite portrayal of Satan? I know it's not technically supposed to be Satan outright, but probably Tim Curry in Legend. He really pulls off the traditional Satan look better than anyone else. Time to eat the rich. Which billionaire do you have dibs on? Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian. I'm gonna learn to eat silicone or saline or whatever the fuck she's full of. I'm gonna learn to survive on it. Yeah, who gives a shit? I mean, like, nothing is relevant. See, that's the problem with like nihilism, is that people fucking start trying to play this relevancy card, and it's like, there's no such thing. Stop being a fucking naive little dipshit. You have any idea how stupid you sound when you go around talking about relevance as if that's like a thing that can be quantified? Her ass is all concrete. Cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about Prey, so I guess I'll check it out. Yeah, She-Hulk's on the agenda today. We'll talk about it because the director has issued a statement in defense, you know. So a lot of folks like me. In fact, we can talk about that one. We can make that like our first, like our warm up thing or whatever. So a lot of people like myself, you know, noticed that you know, the She-Hulk shit kind of sucks. Like, we saw the trailer for it and we're like, ugh, that's not good. I don't know where exactly I responded to it. It might have been on this channel. It might have been on TJ Does Life. It might have been on Fighting Boys. I don't remember where exactly I talked shit on She-Hulk, but I talked shit on She-Hulk, and I'm sure some of you guys remember it. But yeah, fucking, so the two main criticisms that people had, and, you know, mine were not different than other people's. We all kind of had the same shit. So one, the CG looks fucking terrible, especially on She-Hulk. Like, she looks really like a fucking cartoon character. Like, she looks too realistic to be a good cartoon character, but she looks too cartoony to be a good realistic character. She's like in this really awkward no man's land, and she just looks bad. And then the other thing that sucks is that she's like not sufficiently muscled, I think, for most people. Like, I think a lot of us wanted to see her be a little bulkier than she is, because she doesn't look like I mean, she looks, I guess, kind of athletic maybe, but she doesn't look like, it doesn't look like strong. She doesn't look like she's a fucking strength athlete, which, like, she's She-Hulk. Like, Hulk is in the fucking name. Now, if you look at the history of the She-Hulk comics, a lot of the depictions of She-Hulk are not particularly bulky. But some are, and I think they should have gone more in that fucking direction, is my point. Now, that's just a personal fucking preference. That's just a personal aesthetic choice. Some people, you know, probably think that it's better to go with that more, I don't know, classically feminine fucking look or whatever. I think you could have struck a better balance. I think you could have had her fucking, bulky and muscular and still preserved her femininity and, you know, sex appeal and all that. I don't think you had to go so fucking feminine with it. The other thing that sucks is I just hate the premise of her being like this attorney at law bullshit, She-Hulk attorney at law. It's reminiscent of Harvey Birdman attorney at law, which is a joke show, which makes this show feel like a joke. Now, I get it that Marvel, you know, tries to have a sense of humor with its stuff and not be too heavy, which I do appreciate, I think. I think that has its place. It's good for, like, the kind of popcorn entertainment that Marvel produces. It's not meant to be fucking some lofty, weighty, really makes you think kind of shit. It's supposed to be some light popcorn entertainment, turn off your brain, boom, boom, explosion, fun, and then you go about your fucking life and pretty much never think of it again. That's Marvel shit, and that's fine. That has its place, in my opinion. But this to me pushes it too far in the comedy direction. And not only that, I just don't give a fuck about like courtroom drama shit. It's not my favorite genre in general. So there's a lot of stuff this show's doing that, you know, to me doesn't fucking appeal. She's a lawyer in the comics. Yeah, I know. But like, the comics are not about her fucking law cases. You know what I mean? Like, she's a lawyer in the comics, but like Matt Murdock's a lawyer too. It's not Daredevil attorney at law. Like, we focus on his being a superhero before we focus on him being a fucking lawyer. It's like a side thing. It's the fucking it's the alter ego. It's the secret identity or whatever the fuck, okay? Is TJ sitting a banana as we speak? Yes. Always. Every moment of every day. So the She-Hulk director has responded to some of these criticisms, saying, in terms of the CGI being critiqued, I do think that has to do with our culture's belief in their ownership of women's bodies. This is not even a woman's body. This is a fucking CG constructed image, okay? This is not about ownership of women's bodies. If you had the Hulk and he was a scrawny dude, or like slightly muscular green dude, but like with a pretty normal build, I think people would have the same reaction. Would that mean that our culture has a belief in the ownership of men's bodies? No, that's not the fucking issue here. This is basically just like using fake pop culture feminism as a shield to try to fucking justify bad artistic decisions. I think a lot of the critique comes from feeling like they're able to tear apart the CGI woman. Yeah, that's a fucking really important issue, you know? Society feels entitled to tear apart CGI women. That's, like, really important. There's a lot of talk about her body type, and, we based her a lot on Olympian athletes and not bodybuilders. But I think if we'd gone the other way, we'd be facing the same critique. No, you'd be facing a different critique. Because guess what? Any artistic decision you make on a television show or a movie is going to receive critique. Because you have a lot of different people out there with a lot of different fucking sets of tastes. And I think that the fact that there's been such a huge backlash against the body type that you chose for She-Hulk shows that maybe, like, some people out there in the world who were, thinking they might be interested in this show have found that this is not really what they wanted. And maybe instead of being like, well, I think you guys are just like misogynists, or culture is problematic, or whatever the fuck, or like trying to make this a woman's issue, instead of doing all that shit, because instead of using that as like a giant deflecting song and dance, I love how I'm like talking, there's a giant fucking jiggly ass above me. See, but I almost feel like you guys, you can't really make the argument you're trying to make here, because what people like me are saying is we wanted her to be tougher and bigger and stronger and more powerful. Like, you can't fucking spin that into like, oh, well, you just want to criticize women's bodies. It's like, No, I want to criticize the artistic decisions that you made with this fictional character called She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted her bigger and stronger than she is. That's the point. Some people probably would fucking balk at that and be like, oh, I don't like how they made her too big. You know, what's good for them and what's good for me might be different. So you're always going to receive criticism. That's fucking true. But I feel like the fact that it's so widespread shows that this sentiment that I fucking, have about this is, I don't know, not all that fucking far removed from the zeitgeist. I don't know. I feel like I'd like to see a bigger, stronger, bulkier She-Hulk, but, whatever. You do you, She-Hulk show. It's fine. I have no control over you. I can't fucking come to Marvel, studios or whatever and change the way you do things. But, even setting that issue aside, because that's just really a matter of personal taste, the fact of the matter is the CGI looks terrible. Like, it just looks bad. It doesn't look realistic at all. It's like almost just like, and then there's like, the excuse for that is basically like, well, these CGI artists are so rushed. Like, as if that's not your fault. Like, yeah, if the CGI artists are rushed, then give them more time to do what they need to do. And don't put this fucking out until it looks fucking right. Like, whoever's making the decision to put them on this time crunch, like, there's no inherent need for She-Hulk to be out at a particular fucking date. Nothing bad happens if they wait a little longer and get the look right. There's no fucking negative consequence to that. So fucking just get it right and put it out when it looks good. You guys have infinity money. Like, you're fucking Disney. You don't have to fucking put out something that's shoddy. You can literally fucking spend as much time and money on it as it fucking takes once you've committed to it. So this just seems like cheapskate bullshit. Like, they don't fucking have proper, a belief in the fucking property. So they fucking just rush out some half-baked bullshit and expect us to be like, oh, well, yeah, we'll just accept it. Well, I'm not going to accept it, because you know why? Because there's 5 million goddamn streaming services with 20 trillion original shows right now. So if you want to fucking grab my attention, you better fucking have something a little fucking stronger than what you got going on here. Like, every chance that you had to make this show unique, to make it stand out, to make it appeal to me, you have fucking failed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to watch it because it doesn't look good to me. And I've told you the reasons why. You've obviously heard the criticisms, because it didn't just come from me. It came from a lot of people. And this is your fucking response. Just like, well, our culture believes that they own women's bodies. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with fucking anything? It's like such a non-point. Such a pure deflection tactic. Oh my God, yeah, Sandman looks fucking incredible. I would watch, I'm gonna watch that for sure. That looks fucking amazing. But this She-Hulk shit looks like garbage. Looks like fucking garbage, bro. I don't even have superhero fatigue. I could pretty much watch a fucking superhero shit from now till the end of time and not give a shit. But like, my thing is, like, make it good. It's gotta be fucking good. This is not good. It's not good enough. Not for my attention. Every branch of the animation in the industry is grossly poorly treated, underpaid, including the artists who do CGI and live action films. Is bullshit. Well, I mean, that seems like an issue to be addressed, and hopefully that will be addressed, because, it's not only the CG artists that fucking suffer for it, it's fucking consumers, because they turn out trash like this. You don't give these artists enough time to do the job that we, the fucking consumers, want them to do. And, they end up fucking turning out crap like this, and we hate it. And then it's like, oh, well, they didn't have enough time. It's like, well, whose fault is that? It's the fucking money men's fault. It's Uncle fucking Moneybags at the top of the fucking Disney hierarchy that's like, get it out, rush, rush, rush. It's like, quit rushing. Why are you motherfuckers rushing? Like, shouldn't you guys should be like a quality first kind of fucking company, because you have, like, once again, you have infinity money. You have endless oceans of goddamn money. There is no reason for you guys to put out anything that looks fucking anything less than immaculate. Unless it's just like meant to be low budget. Like, yeah, we know this is like a niche show for a niche market, but I'm assuming She-Hulk is supposed to fucking broadly appeal to a wide swath of people, right? Like, it's supposed to. She-Hulk is not supposed to be some kind of like niche entertainment. It's supposed to be fucking fun for the whole family, right? So get it fucking right. That's all I'm saying, man. People don't rush to wait, lol. I want to watch artist movies, not financial made movies. Well, then go do it. You act like you can't go do that. I hate these people who want to bitch about Marvel shit, but they literally do not support fucking independent filmmaking. If you guys want to, like, there is like the amount of people that bitch about how Marvel is like rote generic shit is high enough that, you know what, if they wanted to actually go watch real fucking films, go watch some actually like artistic fucking cinema that with like integrity and passion and depth and like original voices, they could easily go fucking do that, but they'd rather just bitch. So I'm just tired of you motherfucking cliche ass Marvel hating motherfuckers. Because you don't embrace, because you know what, if you did, if every fucking buddy who talks shit about Marvel would just go and support independent film, then those films would be doing a lot better financially and you'd see a lot fucking more of them. But you don't. You go watch every fucking Marvel property and then bitch about it. It's like, shut the fuck up, you crybaby pieces of shit. Anyway. Let's take a look at this Alex Jones story, which, by the way, great fucking picture of Alex Jones. Like, look at this fucking picture, man. Let's go through the slideshow really quick, because I'm sure it's all great. Oh, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Let's go bigger. Yeah, look at this motherfucker. Hello, darkness, my old friend. This is the judge. I'm not going to play the video. Who's this? Economic expert. Called to testify and discuss the net worth of Alex Jones and free speech systems Friday. Yeah. Here's Alex again with this guy, Mark Bankston, lawyer for Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis. This is the guy that asked him a question about those text messages and shit. Wesley Ball speaks to Mark Branson, lawyers representing Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, parents of Sandy Hook shooting victim Jesse Lewis, during trial at Travis County Courthouse in Austin, Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. Jones testified Wednesday that he now understands it was irresponsible of him to declare the Sandy Hook elementary school massacre a hoax. He now believes it was 100% real. All right. What is this? It's from July 12th, 2022. A video showing Alex Jones is shown at the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol holds a hearing at the Capitol in Washington. Blah 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 blah. That's kind of looming in the background as well. A Texas jury on Thursday ordered conspiracy theorist Alex Jones to pay more than $4 million, but that's just the beginning. Do we have any more funny pictures of Alex Jones here? Let's just get to the article then. So, a Texas jury on Friday ordered conspiracy theorist Alex Jones to pay $45.2 million in punitive damages to the parents of a child who was killed in the Sandy Hook elementary school massacre, adding to the $4.1 million he must pay for the suffering he put them through by claiming for years the nation's deadliest school shooting was a hoax. The total, $49.3 million, is less than the $150 million sought by Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, whose 6-year-old son, Jesse Lewis, was among the 20 children and 6 educators killed in the 2012 attack on Newtown, Connecticut. But the trial marks the first time Jones has been held financially liable for peddling lies about the massacre, claiming it was faked by the government to tighten gun laws. Afterward, Lewis said that Jones, who wasn't in the courtroom to hear the verdict, has been held accountable. She said when she took the stand and looked Jones in the eye, she thought of her son, who was credited with saving lives by yelling "run" when the killer paused in his rampage. He stood up to the bully Adam Lanza and saved 9 of his classmates' lives. Lewis said, "I hope that I did that incredible courage justice when I was able to confront Alex Jones, who is also a bully. I hope that inspires other people to do the same." I would imagine that anybody who has a dead kid in this fucking attack is going to be, who has not already filed a lawsuit, is going to be like, holy shit, I need to file a lawsuit against Alex Jones, like, right now, before there's nothing left. It could be a while before the plaintiffs collect anything. Jones' lead attorney, Andino Renal, told the judge he will appeal and asked the courts to drastically reduce the size of the verdict. After the hearing, Renal said he thinks the punitive amount will be reduced to as little as $1.5 million. "We think the verdict was too high. Alex Jones will be on the air today. He'll be on the air tomorrow. He'll be on the air next week. He's going to keep doing his job, holding the power structure accountable. Jones's companies and personal wealth could get carved up by other lawsuits and bankruptcy. Another defamation lawsuit against Jones by a Sandy Hook family is set to start pretrial hearings in the same Austin court on September 14th. He faces yet another defamation lawsuit in Connecticut. Plaintiff's attorney Mark Bankston said he believes he can challenge any attempt to reduce the damages, but he said even if the award is drastically cut, it is just as important to take the big verdict into the bankruptcy court for the family to claim against Jones's estate and company. Jones testified this week that any award over $2 million would sink us. His company, Free Speech Systems, which is InfoWars' Austin-based parent company, filed for bankruptcy protection during the first week of the trial. Punitive damages are meant to punish defendants for particularly egregious conduct beyond monetary compensation awarded to the individuals they hurt. A high punitive award is also seen as a chance for jurors to send a wider societal message and a way to deter others from the same abhorrent conduct in the future. Barry Covert, a Buffalo, New York First Amendment lawyer with no connection to the Jones case, said the total damages awarded amount to a stunning loss for Jones. With $50 million in all, the jury has sent a huge, loud message that this behavior will not be tolerated, Covert said. Everyone with a show like this who knowingly tells lies, juries will not tolerate it. Future jurors in other pending Sandy Hook trials could see the damage amounts in this case as a benchmark, Covert said. If other juries do, Covert said, it could very well put Jones out of business. Attorneys for the family had urged jurors to hand down a financial punishment that would force InfoWars to shut down. "You have the ability to stop this man from ever doing it again," Wesley Ball, an attorney for the parents, told the jury Friday. "Send the message to those who desire to do the same. Speech is free. Lies you pay for." This is like my dream verdict right here. I love the fucking attitude. Like, yeah, you got free speech, but you can't make shit up. Like, this is what I've been saying all along. So I kind of love this. And I love the fact that Alex Jones got smacked with a $50 million fucking court ruling, and this is just the first one. I love that there's 2 more pending, and I love that he's probably going to get in trouble for his January 6th shit, and I love that he's probably going to fucking get sued more times as more parents of dead kids kind of realize, like, wait a minute, we could make millions of dollars. You know what I mean? So, TJ sold long. When have I ever been fucking pro Alex Jones, bitch? Like, go to my channel, type in Alex Jones, and see if you can find me ever fucking supporting this fucking guy. Because it's never existed. The most I'll say about Alex Jones, and I'll still say it to this day, he's a fantastic fucking showman. He always has been. He always will be. He has tremendous talent at fucking getting on the camera, screaming a bunch of incoherent gibberish, and then immediately pivoting to selling supplements to fucking desperate, sad people who, believe that if they drink bone broth, they're gonna fucking, I don't know, their IQ is gonna raise 10 points and they'll be cured of all disease or whatever the fuck. He bit of a comedian. Yeah, he's gone. I mean, he's probably not gone. Let's be real. Alex Jones is gonna be fine. But a lot of his money, a lot of his wealth is gonna be gone. And it's not gonna stop his show. It's not gonna deplatform him. He's gonna keep fucking doing what he does. There's always gonna be an audience for it, but you might see him in a shittier studio or something in the future, But then again, this might galvanize the support of a bunch of fucking right-wingers who are like, this is an assault on free speech or some ridiculous nonsense. And they might raise some money for him. I feel like if he keeps getting $50 million judgments against him, they're going to have a hard time raising enough money for this guy to fucking really stay solvent. But then I went to, you used to shill for Alex Jones, dude, you're sick. I've literally never shilled for Alex Jones in my life. Like, fucking find me the instance where I did that, because it doesn't exist. You're so full of shit. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of hard not to find a little bit endearing just because he's such a fucking funny nut. Like, he's so over the top and so willing to just say whatever. Like, he's willing to literally fucking sit down behind his desk and be like, Hillary Clinton is a goblin, and she comes from Dimension X, and she is here, she is covered in flies because she is a servant of the devil, and she is here to eat your children's brains to maintain her eternal youth, you know, and he'll just fucking say it. You'll just be like, all right, buddy, you know, good on you, motherfucker, you know, it's really fun. Alex Jones put dirt in TJ's eye. But TJ, you helped found InfoWars. Oh, fuck, you're right. I forgot that I did that. Oh my God, no, you're so right. Yeah, I've literally never supported Alex Jones. Like, literally go to my channel and just go to my videos and type in Alex Jones. There's plenty of videos about Alex Jones. None of them are in support. None of them are like, Alex Jones is a smart guy who knows what's what. I've, like, literally fucking shit on him a million ways from Sunday. You've already sent him. I don't know. You guys, like, it's kind of funny you guys are, like, making up 6 out of 10 on the impression. Well, Scotty does a better one than me. I've never been really all that great at impressions, but I feel like my literal potbelly vampire goblins are hobbling around coming after us. Yeah, that is a true Alex Jones quote. TJ was the executive producer of Waco, Wake Up. I mean, I was. It's true. Nothing will ever fix the pain of losing a child or of watching that tragedy denied for political reasons, but I'm glad the parents of Sandy Hook have gotten some justice. Union President Randy Weingarten said in a tweet, lawyers for the Sandy Hook family suing Jones contend he has tried to hide evidence of his true wealth in various shell companies, like most rich fucks do. During his testimony, Jones was confronted with a memo from one of his business managers outlining a single day's gross revenue of $800,000 from selling vitamin supplements and other products through his website, which would approach nearly $300 million in a year. Jones called it a record sales day. Yeah, well, that's not typical. This guy is probably considerably richer than what he fucking lets on. But I still think that, you know, he's probably not clearing $800,000 gross sales a day. He's probably fucking making maybe $50 million a year tops. I mean, he does sell a lot of these fucking bullshit supplements. I know that. Lawyers of imaginary people from Soros and Friends. I've never seen TJ and Alex Jones in the same room. Yeah, nice try, buddy. Tell me about it. Throughout the trial, Jones was his typical bombastic self, talking about conspiracies on the witness stand, during impromptu news conferences, and on his show. His erratic behavior is unusual by courtroom standards, and the judge scolded him, telling him at one point, "This is not your show." I mean, you're asking Alex Jones not to Alex Jones. Like, come on. You're not gonna get that. Especially when he knows the eyes of his fans are upon him. Like, he literally could not, like, even if Alex Jones knows that the best thing for him to do, legally speaking, is to go in this courtroom and, like, act like a fucking normal human being, he knows that because portions of it are televised, there's no fucking way he can do that. He has to fucking come across like Alex Jones because he knows his fans are watching. And if they see him go out there and just be like, yes, my name is Alex Jones. I mean, a lot of what I do is actually performance art, you know? Like, he's done it, which he did in his divorce trial, by the way. Like, when it came to his divorce trial, which was not televised, you got a whole other Alex Jones in that courtroom because he knew that people weren't going to see it. So he fucking made the case like, oh, a lot of stuff I do is just, you know, I'm just hamming it up. I'm just playing a character. But in this trial, you didn't get that because he knew that people can see him. He knew that his audience is watching. So he can't fucking do the whole like, oh, well, it's just all pretend, you know? Because he can't afford to lose them, especially not now when he's fucking looking down the barrel of all these fucking financial penalties. So why did he concede that the shooting was real? I mean, because he had to put up some kind of legal fucking... he'd be pretty fucking stupid if he was still saying it. Like, because if he would have gone out there and said that, they would have just been like, fuck 150 million. Let's have a $300 million judgment against this guy. He ain't even learned a lesson. You know, like, the jury would have just totally raped him up the ass if he'd have fucking said that. They already pretty much did. But they would have been even more brutal. Like, he had to do that. That was bare minimum, just like legal strategy shit. Like, give me a break. But anyway, I decided I was going to go check out his InfoWars shit. See what's going on. Let's see. Is it live now? Yeah, I think it's still live.
The studio today, and with Alex and the court case, I believe it's a microcosm of what's happening on the world stage.
See, it sucks because when I was getting ready for this show, I went on here and Alex Jones was the one talking. But now it's whoever the fuck this guy is.
We're watching the suicide of the judicial system, in my opinion, right here in Austin, Texas. What they've done to Alex, in my opinion, is a kind of railroading, and it's an abandonment of the very pillars that keep society functioning.
Amen, man. Society can't function unless dudes are allowed to go out and fucking say that a bunch of kids getting shot in the head was false and, like, send his fucking goons to go torture the parents of dead children. Without that, our society surely will crumble.
We cannot function as a nation if we don't have a fair and unbiased judicial system, if we don't have a functioning Sixth Amendment where people are able to present witnesses and evidence in their own defense or to testify.
So Jones was not allowed to show witnesses in his own defense? Did he not have a lawyer? Like, was it just like, no, sorry, Alex, no witnesses for you. This kangaroo court, bitch. You don't get anything. TJ, let's be real. Your real talent is your karaoke. It's like hearing Alanis Morissette in Dogma. I know, right? Blows your fucking brain apart. Yeah, I've heard the Alex Jones indie folk song.
On their own behalf.
So, yeah, unfortunately, Alex was on earlier. I wish they'd let you, like, go back in the video, but they don't seem to let you do that. So that kind of sucks. Because he was on himself earlier talking this shit. Oh, wait, what's this? Is this something? Hold up. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just this thing. Some previous re-recorded shit. Let's see. Breaking. Jury reaches verdict in Alex Jones case. We can watch his little toady, Owen Schroyer, talk about it. I wish we had Alex on it. Maybe next stream we'll have him. That was loud.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Owen Schroyer back here with you. We have to cut in here. We are expecting the verdict, the final verdict.
This question is free to
and let them embraced it. They're not pretending anymore.
All right, let's hear Owen.
What you saw today is exactly what I opened up the show with, and that's when I explained that the mask is off, folks. The modern-day liberal, progressive, Democrat left are now accepting their role as the bad guy. They've now fully embraced it. They're not pretending anymore. It's not a game. It's not they're pretending to have the moral high ground. They've removed the mask. They know they're...
TJ, remember when you burned the Quran? Yeah, it's still up on YouTube. You can go watch it.
They're the bad guys now. They've accepted the role. They like it.
Cool.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
why I wear the villain
by,
makeup.
1940 and post-1940 in Nazi Germany, if you were still serving Hitler, you knew what you were doing. Like...
Yeah. What? Hitler? Wait, so a jury saying that Alex Jones has to pay $50 million because he lied about a bunch of dead kids and, like, emotionally tormented the parents of children who were murdered in a fucking mass shooting event? Like, that's somehow akin to Hitler doing the Holocaust? What? Like, how? Like, even if I was inclined to take your guys' side on this, even if I was, like, still doing the whole, like, free speech absolutist thing, and I was like, you know, even though I don't like what Alex Jones did, I believe that this is freedom of speech, y'all. Like, even then, I would still find that comparison insane hyperbole on an almost unfathomable level. Like, you literally just said that because a jury convicted Alex Jones, not even convicted him of anything, just like he lost a lawsuit. Like, there was a judgment against him, like a monetary judgment against him. Because Alex Jones has to pay $50 million for lying about some dead kids. And basically fucking, like, calling the parents liars and sending his audience after them to harass them. Because he did that, and a jury didn't like it and awarded the fucking people who he emotionally fucking tormented money. That's somehow akin to, like, people siding with Hitler, you know, during the Holocaust. Like, how? Like, how is that even remotely comparable? Bro.
You knew at that point what you were doing.
Uh-huh.
We've crossed the threshold now. They now know what they're doing. They now know they're the bad guys. They now know they're the tyrant.
You're... I'm going to just go on a limb here and say, like, the dude who fucking looked at a bunch of dead kids and was like, it's all a lie, don't fucking steal our guns. I'm going to say that's probably the bad guy. How many geese do you think Alex Jones will be able to take in a fight? He's a big dude. Geese are not that strong. They are kind of intimidating. They're ballsy, you know. They'll come at you. I'd say 142 geese he could take out before they fucking finally wore him down. Pecked him to death. You know?
Tyrants. They now know they're the authoritarians. They now know they're the murderers of civilization.
The murderers of civilization, guys. Civilization is over. Today, civilization... I mean, like, I literally cannot believe the level of hyperbole being engaged in here. And the level of ass-kissery, too. Like, give me a break, dude. Even if you want to fucking make some sort of argument against this, like, look, freedom of speech means that, you know, sometimes we have to tolerate opinions that might personally disgust us. And this is, I think, today's verdict goes against freedom of speech. I would accept that as, like, a reasonable fucking position. I wouldn't agree with it, but I would see the reasonableness of it. But you've literally come on here and said, like, anybody who supports this is Hitler, this is the death of civilization. Like, what? You're a lunatic. This is not the fucking death of civilization, okay? It's not even fucking close. This isn't even, like, the speed bump of civilization, all right? Uh-huh.
And that's why we're where we're at right now.
I do like this guy's jacket, though. I will say that.
That's why Alex Jones must be destroyed.
Okay.
Because he put his entire life and will against them for 20 plus years. And so when you saw the lawyers from the other side today, which, by the way, I mean, let's just assume that the lawyers for the plaintiffs are really upstanding and good people. So I'm sure they won't see a dime of this verdict, right? I'm sure.
I mean, well, yeah, of course they are. They're lawyers. Like, what? So wait, your argument is basically, like, weren't Alex Jones's lawyers paid? I'm pretty sure lawyers do what they do for money. They're lawyers. They're not fucking philanthropists, okay? Lawyers are, yeah, scumbags. They make fucking shit tons of money. I'm sure those lawyers are going to see a nice, big, old, healthy chunk of those millions of dollars in judgment, all right? No doubt about that. What does that have to do with anything, though?
The lawyers will not see a penny of this verdict.
They'll see plenty of pennies of that verdict. You know they will.
Did it for the Sandy Hook parents, and they did it for the right reason. So I'm sure they're not going to see a penny of the $40+ million of the verdict. I'm sure that that's not what they're doing this for.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? That's their job. We as a society have agreed that lawyers are a thing. That's like part of our court system. Lawyers don't work for free, they work for money. So yeah, if a lawyer gets a big fucking judgment, they get paid. This is not new. This is not some new fucking thing that just arose in the Alex Jones. Like, this could literally be used against any punitive judgment in history. Yeah, well, you know what, guys? Guess what? There was this lawsuit today, you know, and, you know, so this person won some money, but guess what? Their lawyer also got paid, so invalid, case invalidated, bro. Case invalidated. Like, what? That's not even... Yeah, lawyers get paid for being lawyers. That's not news. That's not breaking news. That's not an argument.
I'm sure. I wonder if we'll see their financial records. Like they went through Alex Jones, made a bunch of claims, and then presented none of the claims as evidence to the jury. But understand.
I mean, it seems like the jury was convinced, you know, so I don't know. Like, see if I guess they presented enough claims for the jury to be like, yeah, we believe it. Like, are we going to go against the jury system now? Should we not have juries? Like, what? Like, we should just dismantle court systems as they've existed? I mean, I'm not opposed to it necessarily. If you have an idea for a better way to do things, I mean, I doubt that you're going to be the source of it, but hey, I'll hear you out. But like, what you're talking about is literally how civil trials have been run forever. Yeah, you have lawyers that are on the side of the defendants and lawyers on the side of the plaintiff, and they each get to present their arguments, and then at the end of the fucking trial, the jury says, who won? And then they get to decide that, and then they can award the money, or they can say, no, this was bullshit. And in this instance, they said, this is not bullshit. This is a legit case. Alex Jones is a piece of shit. We sentence him to pay $50 million to these people. That's what happened. And now you're like, this is the death of civilization. This is Hitler. It's like, no. How is it Hitler? Like, draw me the fucking, like, show me on any level how this is fucking Hitler.
Man, when those lawyers...
Kind of looks like an Amish Ewan McGregor. Or Conor McGregor, sorry. Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Amish Conor McGregor, dude. Probably not as tough.
That I'm sure won't be taking $1 of the millions they
Love your
just
makeup,
got.
TJ. Thank you.
When those
Appreciate
lawyers
you.
stepped up today and they said, this is about punishing Alex Jones and this is about making sure Alex Jones can never go on air again, that's them removing the mask. They're not pretending anymore. They're the bad guys. Now, understand.
Yeah, I mean, in order for me to jump on board with that reasoning, I'd have to think that wanting Alex Jones off the air makes you a bad guy. I don't think it does. You know, I personally don't think that he should be, like, censored or anything, and I don't think this will censor him. I think that's all just fucking chest thumping coming from InfoWars. Because here's the fact of the matter at the end of the day. No matter what fucking judgments Alex Jones has against him, there's nothing stopping him from fucking hopping on a webcam in front of a fucking microphone and doing whatever the fuck he wants. You know? It's not that fucking expensive to do. Even if they fucking drain him of every goddamn penny, there's always going to be people out there that want to hear from him. He's just been all over the national media. There's obviously going to be a bunch of people who are going to frame this exactly the way this guy is, as a massive free speech issue. So support is going to galvanize to Alex Jones. There's always going to be a fresh crop of suckers willing to pay him for his shit. And he's going to be just fucking fine. Might be a little broker. Might be a lot broker. Might take him quite some time to financially recover from this. But is he going off the air? Almost certainly not.
And this.
Censoring him is expected because he is an actual perpetrator. So make up your mind, TJ. I don't understand what you're saying. Censoring him is expected because he is an actual perpetrator. He's not a perpetrator. He didn't commit the crime. He didn't go out and shoot the kids himself. So I don't know what's being said there.
The biggest mass murderers in the 20th century was Mao Zedong, a communist, and Adolf Hitler, a socialist.
Adolf Hitler was not a socialist, bro. Mao Zedong is a communist. That's fair. You can say that. Calling Hitler a socialist, like, you might, if you're gonna just ignore, like, literally every fucking tenet of you know, national quote unquote socialism, by that standard, like, the DPRK is democratic and the Congo is democratic because they each have democratic in the name of the fucking country. They're not, that doesn't make, just like saying a word doesn't make you that thing. Just because you'd be like, this is the People's Democratic Republic of the Congo, and this is the People's Democratic Republic of Korea. Like, that doesn't make it a democratic republic. It's still a fucking, you know, totalitarian dictatorship, right? Because you can't actually fucking you can't actually vote against the leader. You know, the elections are rigged. They're ceremonial at best. So yeah, like, throwing the word socialist into your platform. Hitler, you know, the Nazis did that because there was a lot of fucking workers' parties at the time in Germany that were socialist. And so they wanted to piggyback on that. And so they threw it in there. But as soon as they took power, any fucking semblance of socialism that existed in their platform pretty much evaporated. And they ran on a fucking platform that most fucking right-wingers would probably salivate at. So the idea that they're like socialists, if they're socialists, then the Republican Party is fucking socialist. Donald Trump is socialist at that fucking point. Because his politics were way more similar to fucking Donald Trump than Mao Zedong.
And if we...
They always forget that the guy who put lead in gas and the people he killed and messed up. What?
we don't learn what the leftist ideology does to civilization.
Yeah, they did literally kill the socialist Nazis. That's true.
The blood-soaked leftist ideology, the vortex of which is communism and socialism, which is what the modern American liberal progressive Democrat represents. If we don't understand that that was the most murderous, blood-soaked ideology in force on this planet in the 20th century, if we haven't learned that here in the...
What does this have to do with anything, Mr. Sir? Hey, guy? What are we talking about here? Because this doesn't seem to have anything to do with the court case. I don't remember the issue of communism or socialism being brought up as a issue of relevance in this trial. It seems like this is a massive deflection at this point, but okay.
21st century folks, they're going to do it again.
All right.
And guess what? It'll be worse than...
Worse. This time we're going to kill so many more.
Mao Zedong. It'll be worse than Hitler
Hell
because
yeah.
it will be worldwide.
Oh,
These people
man.
aren't
Yes. Globalist fucking genocide. And it all begins with Alex Jones having to pay $50 million, guys. That was the first wave of the fucking globalist, communist, genocidal plot to just murder everybody. Was first thing we got to do, you guys. Make sure that we fucking steal Alex Jones's money in a kangaroo court. That's step one of the global communist genocide. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you raving lunatic? What does that have to do with fucking anything, bro? It has nothing to do with anything. Like, holy shit, you are insane. Anyway, I'm done with this guy. Let's talk to Beavis and Butthead here. I just want to say something about Beavis and Butthead, okay? Just want to say one, I don't know how long this part will take. Maybe this will be a quick one. Maybe this will be something we delve into a little deeper. I don't know. But, so a few months ago, I think it was the beginning of June, actually, they put out a Beavis and Butthead movie on Paramount Plus, which, by the way, I hate Paramount Plus. I don't necessarily hate the content that it has on it, because I watch Star Trek on there, because now they've moved Star Trek there. Excuse me. I love Star Trek The Next Generation. I love Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I love Star Trek Voyager. I'm thinking I might be really into Star Trek Strange New Worlds, one of the new ones, which I watched the first episode. I really liked it, but I haven't checked out any of the other ones yet. But that actually seems like it might be pretty cool Trek. Not a big fan of Discovery. I like Picard okay. Haven't watched season 2 yet because I just haven't had time. I know a lot of people didn't like that one. I personally do. Didn't like Discovery, though. Not a fan of the original series at all. I think it's way too cheesy for me. Hate the animated series. My favorite Star Trek stuff is like stuff from the 80s and 90s. I do like some of the movies with the original cast. I like Wrath of Khan. I like Search for Spock. I even like Undiscovered Country. Not that. Well, no, hold. Voyage Home. I like the Voyage Home. Undiscovered Country, I'm not sure. But I like some of the those other ones. So I don't like Enterprise either. I'm a little bit of a Star Trek fan. I especially like that stuff throughout the 80s and the 90s. That was my favorite era. But I hate Paramount Plus. I liked it so much better when it was on Netflix and you could skip the intro and the player was way more stable. Paramount Plus, it has a shitty player. There's constant buggy software. Even though I have an account where I shouldn't have to watch ads. Half the time it logs me out and it makes me watch fucking advertisements, which sucks dick. You can't skip intros. The player is wonky. Sometimes he gets stuck and just repeats the same fucking shit over and over again. Like it'll get stuck in a little loop. So yeah, there's like a lot of fucking problems with Paramount Plus's tech. I just wish that they were not a streaming service. But one of the cool things about it is that they have brought back Beavis and Butthead as a fucking means of like pushing their streaming service. And you know, whatever I might say about them as a streamer and the technology that you know is behind their apps and stuff, at least their fucking application for Fire TV fucking sucks. The interface problems on Paramount Plus are just like way beyond the pale. Like it's the worst one I've used. None of the other ones have been as bad. How terrible is Star Trek Picard? I really like Picard, honestly. I don't really know what the issue is with it. I saw those Red Letter Media guys complaining about it. It seemed like a bunch of whiny bullshit to me that had very little to do with the actual quality of the show. But I've never liked those guys with their commentaries. The only thing I ever liked was when the dude plays the fucking, I'm this guy, this is crazy, whatever the fucking shit. I can't remember the name of the character. That stuff's fun, but when they're just like sitting around complaining, I don't know. Their criticisms don't fucking, they don't do anything for me. But anyway, Paramount Plus, their player sucks, at least for Fire TV, which I have. But I do appreciate them bringing back Beavis and Butthead. So they put out a movie called Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, and my expectations for it were not tremendously high. I do remember when Beavis and Butthead was briefly brought back in like 2013 or so, and it was fine. It wasn't what it was. You know, it was, it felt almost kind of like, why bring this back? The episodes that came out were okay, but they just felt a little off. Like they felt like they weren't quite hitting that right tone. And I don't know what's different this time around in 2022, but like it feels so much more correct. When I watched that movie, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, not only did I think that it was as good as classic Beavis and Butthead, it honestly seems better. Like, it's the first time I've ever seen something get rebooted where I think I might like the reboot better than I like the original, especially when I loved the original. Like, I don't know. It just seems like crisper in every way. Like, the writing seems tighter. The characters seem like a little bit more well-developed, but without quite... They don't lose the essence of being Beavis and Butthead, but they feel a little bit more real. They have, like, a little bit more depth, which you think might ruin it, but it doesn't. They're still kind of just like these time capsules from the 90s, but somehow it just still works. Even though like they've been transplanted into a time that they're not of, they still fit right in, you know? I don't know what it is. They just have, like, I don't know, Beavis and Butthead have like a timeless quality. I literally think you could just put them anywhere. I think you could put them like 20 million years in the future. You could put them in fucking 1876, whatever. They're just going to work. As long as you stay true to the essence of the characters, I just feel like you can't go wrong. And that movie was great. And then, after they dropped the movie, I was like, wow, that was cool to see Beavis and Butthead again. And then I find out shortly thereafter, it's like, oh, we're doing a show, too. It's like, holy fuck. And they did, I don't know, they kind of like kept that hidden, you know, I guess. You didn't really know that was happening until pretty much it's already just like upon you. It's like, here's no Beavis and Butthead episodes. Like, okay. And I watched the first 2 episodes of the show, and they were fucking hilarious. I have not laughed so hard at a fucking television show. I don't even know how fucking long. Maybe, like, since the original Beavis and Butthead was out and I was watching it as a kid. Like, it's that fucking good. Anybody who's, like, sleeping on this... I don't know. You fucking need to check it out because it's like legit fucking great. I'm loving it. I'm really fucking digging this shit, and I hope that it fucking maintains this level of quality throughout the season. I don't know if they've front loaded it with like the best ones, and now it's going to kind of degrade or something. But like everything they've put out so far has been fucking like chef's kiss, fucking perfect. Like, just it's almost like they looked at Beavis and Butthead and not only thought like, how do we bring this back, but like, how do we stay true to this but improve upon it? Like, how do we make this better than it was without losing the essence of it? Which it seems like reboots never fucking do that. And every time you think that a reboot's gonna do that, it just doesn't fucking, it doesn't pull it off, you know? Like they always fucking either lose the original appeal and kind of like don't really know, they like, it's made by people who don't understand why it worked in the first place, and they seem like they hit the notes, but they don't understand why they need to be played. But this fucking show really feels like not only did they fucking capture the essence, but they figured out ways to fucking make it tighter and to really ratchet up the fucking humor of it. Because like this really feels like fresh in a way that I did not expect it to. It does not feel like some 90s shit that's being nostalgically, like it doesn't feel like nostalgia capitalization going on. Now it is, but it doesn't feel like it, which I think is important. Beaker and butt plug. Amen, bro. Hey, motherfucking men. You're so right. TJ, do you stand by your old racist rant against black people video called Answers to Black People, where you said gentrification is good because that would be less murders and robberies in the area? You know, I think I stand by most of what I said in those videos. The idea that gentrification is bad because it fucking, I mean, like, you're never gonna convince me that it's good to have like high crime areas that are like filled with violence and poverty. Like, you're never gonna get me upset that like, hey, now the area is nice. It's like, what? Well, but the people who lived there before can't afford to live there anymore. It's like, well, I don't know. Can we just figure out some way they can, like, grandfather them in, like, you know, all the businesses that are there, like, chip in to help the old residents stay there? I don't know, like, grandfather them in, man. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like we need to fucking like intentionally let areas be shitty just so the rent is fucking depressed so that fucking poor people can live there. Poor people should be able to live nice places. Isn't that like a better point to make? That'd be my point. Like, don't fucking like let an area be shitty just so poor people can afford it. Help poor people afford it. Fucking have programs and shit. You know, like, it's just like the privilege argument. Like, oh man, these white people have privilege, or these men have privilege, or whatever the fuck. It's like, okay, well then the solution isn't taking it away from them, it's extending it to others, right? They shouldn't, if like, the idea that's like, oh, you got all these special privileges, we need to fucking take them away from you. It's like, no, you just need to extend them to others. Like, other people should be treated as well as I am. If I'm getting special treatment, I shouldn't be, but that doesn't mean take it away from me. Give it to them. Everyone should get it. Everyone should be treated the same, right? That makes sense. Everybody's equal under the law. That seems like a reasonable approach. So yeah, I don't think it's racist at all. To the idea that like that a fucking area that's impoverished, you know, like the idea that, oh, well, we should keep it that way just so that the people who live there can continue to afford it. It seems almost like throwing in the towel to me. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like, oh, well, it's fine. We should just keep it like that because they need to afford it. Like, that just seems like you've just ceded ground at that point. You said it as like a screed against black people, though not in a supportive way, but okay. I mean, it was not a screed against black people. You can go back and watch it. Anybody can go back and watch the video. It's not been taken down. You can see the fucking, and then, like, it's important to look at the full context of it too, beyond just that video. Look at what I've said on my channel. Look at the fucking positions I've taken over time. The only thing that's in that video that I think is presented really poorly, and I don't know if it's in that video or if it's in one of the other ones, But I know there was a time when I used like the 1350 kind of statistic. But I kind of thought at the time, like, well, people get the context of this. Because my thinking was basically, you know, the question was like, why are white people scared of black people? And I was like, well, I think a lot of white people are scared of black people because they realize they're disproportionately like criminal. Now, I said that because I had said in previous videos, I'd made it clear that, you know, the reason for that is poverty and inequality and shit like that. I recognized that, but I didn't make it clear in that video. So if you just watch that video alone, you probably think I'm making like a racist argument at that point, because I made the mistake of forgetting that not everyone's going to be familiar with the broader context of my channel. So that was a mistake in presentation. Research found that gentrification leads to job losses by 63% on prior residents, which forces most of them to find work farther from their homes. Right, so solve that problem, you know, like keep them there. Figure out a way to fucking not have the adverse effects of it, but that doesn't mean like, well, let's intentionally keep an area depressed and shitty. Like, that doesn't make sense. That's not the solution. When you moving to California with the rest of the leftist scum, TJ? California, the idea that California is some kind of leftist state is kind of ridiculous, first of all. I mean, like, it has almost as many executions as Texas and is socially conservative in a number of ways. And actually, huge swaths of California are conservative. They've had several Republican governors. Ronald Reagan was a governor from California. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who would have been president if he wasn't born in Austria, I firmly believe, was a Republican governor. By today's standards, a pretty moderate Republican. But, you know, he could have easily moved a little right for the national races, which I think he would have as a consummate politician. So California's elected numerous Republican governors. There's areas of California that are just as red could be. There's tons of fucking right-wing activism in California. And most of the people who are on the blue side in California are not leftists, but liberals. So the idea that California is this leftist haven is pretty silly. As for moving to California, I would love to, honestly. It's a beautiful place. The ocean is beautiful. There's a lot of culture there. There's a lot of interesting food. But the issues that I have with it are, one, climate change has rendered it a drought-ridden shithole. America has totally ignored the problem of climate change. And then the unfortunate result is that many of our more Western states in particular are now experiencing insane droughts from which I don't think they're going to recover. Texas, by the way, is another one. Texas is in horrible drought conditions. California is in horrible drought conditions, especially now that we have these record temperatures this summer. So that's a problem. And also, the cost of housing in California is fucking insane. Now, I don't know policy-wise if that's the fault of, like, quote-unquote leftists. Maybe it's the fault of liberals. I don't know, but I'm not a liberal. To me, housing costs should be something controlled, not by the market, but, like, I think there should be direct interference from the government. So, which has not happened. I think housing costs should be prevented from inflating to the levels they have, and I think capitalism is to blame for that, because we have now private companies, you know, investing all this money in buying houses because they view it as an investment opportunity, and they're literally driving up a housing bubble, which, by the way, you know, once that bubble pops, it's going to crash the entire fucking economy, just like it did in 2008. So yeah, I think that the idea. The reasons I wouldn't move to California have to do with that. They don't have anything to do with, like, leftism or anything. I think it's a pretty silly argument. Anyway. Our Beavis and Butthead episode's still like 5 minutes. No, they're longer than that. And while they still have the interruptions by music videos or now like TikToks and things like that for Beavis and Butthead to commentate on, they're not nearly as common. Like, it's like once or twice an episode. I think it's just once, actually, per episode. Maybe twice. So yeah, it's a little bit more tolerable. I think one of the things about Beavis and Butthead is their music video commentaries were always funny, but they were always too much. Like they always had too much of that content and not enough of the skit stuff. Because even though I think the funniest stuff is often in the music, it was often in the music videos, they did too much of them. It was like Beavis and Butthead was like you'd get like 1 minute of fucking Beavis and Butthead doing something, and then a music video commentary, and then another minute, and then a music video commentary, and then another minute and a music video commentary, and it's like there's barely any fucking story there. This one it delves a little bit deeper into the plot lines and doesn't do quite as many distractions in that regard. It still does them, and it does them pretty well, in my opinion. Beavis and Butthead reacting to ASMR was probably one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. I laughed my fucking ass off, okay? Retards in the chat. I don't know. I think it's because Alex Jones is in the thumbnail. I think that kind of attracts. I think it's like a bug zapper for like retards. What did you think of the movie? The movie's great. Yeah. Climate change is mostly bull. We don't have that kind of power. Contamination, it's very real. You don't see any corporation talk about that. Climate change, I mean, like the effects of climate change are so blatantly obvious at this point. I don't know what more you'd fucking need to stop being a quote unquote skeptic. Like the idea that people are skeptical, I mean, like you're not skeptical, you're delusional. Like you're literally denying evidence at this point. That's not skepticism. Like, give me a break. Dude, I was so upset to see this guy back right here. You guys even recognize this face anymore? If you don't, good for you. I'm glad you don't. I'm glad that we've evolved beyond the need to recognize this dude's face. But this is Dick fucking Cheney, all right? Liz Cheney's father. And he has appeared once again, you know, and like, you know, you thought he was dead. I mean, I knew he wasn't dead, but I thought, like, in my fucking heart of hearts, he was dead. You know what I mean? Like, I want him dead, so therefore I felt like he was dead on some level. Like, I never thought I would have to, like, once again, look into his eyes, listen to his voice, hear him speak, you know? I never thought that would happen to me again. I thought that I was over the day and age when I'd have to see and hear Dick Cheney talking at me. And apparently not. Apparently this motherfucker is still around. Not only are still around, but still like lucid enough to talk to me. And I'm just like, please, God, no. Like, this is not fun, man. I don't want to hear this guy speak. But here he is, you know. Here's a guy, I mean, like, this dude, literally, when I was a fucking teenager, this dude had like 4 heart attacks. Like, how the fuck is this motherfucker still goddamn going, man?
In our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump.
There's never been an individual who's a greater threat to our republic than you. You are the greatest fucking threat our republic ever faced. It's literally like you're the one person, maybe not the one person, but you are one of the few people on the face of the earth who cannot talk shit on Donald Trump for being like the greatest threat to our fucking republic or whatever the fuck, okay? Because you're Dick fucking Cheney. You dismantled this fucking country. You found yourself a stooge with an IQ of 11 to be your little puppet while you, the fucking Darth Vader-esque mastermind behind it all, pulled every string and basically, like, you destroyed habeas corpus, you destroyed civil liberties, you fucking pushed us into a fucking dictatorship fucking conditions. Like, every fucking thing that Donald Trump did, that exceeded the fucking powers of that were supposed to be delegated to the presidency. You laid the groundwork for all of that shit. Your administration's response to 9/11 was basically the death of the entire concept of freedom in America. So, like, the idea that you, of all people, are going to show up to tell me about the threat posed by Donald Trump, go fuck yourself, bitch. Go fucking die already, motherfucker.
He tried to steal
Lincoln did suspend habeas corpus. That's true.
the last.
He did do that. However, he did bring it back after the war was over. You know, but fucking the Trump, the Bush administration basically destroyed the writ of habeas corpus. It's never been the same since.
Election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He is a coward. A real man wouldn't lie to his supporters. He lost his election.
He's a coward. A real man wouldn't lie to his supporters. Bullshit, Dick. Dick, you lie. You lie constantly. That's all you do. Oh my God, like Dick Cheney fucking telling me about like the virtue of truth. Like, give me a break, man.
And he lost big.
Yeah, you lied about WMDs in Iraq. Remember that? Remember when you told us? Remember when your administration literally had photoshopped, you fucking sent Colin Powell out there with photoshopped slides to convince the world that you needed to fucking go into Iraq? Remember when you did that, you piece of shit? Yeah, so don't talk to me about lying, bitch.
I know it, he knows it, and deep down, I think most Republicans know it. Lynn and I are so proud of Liz for standing up for the truth, doing what's right, honoring.
This is fucking music they got. I'm like, who the fuck trots out Dick fucking Cheney? Like, if my name was Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney was my dad, I would literally change my last name and try to fucking be somebody else. Cause like, but she's literally fucking got this dude. She's dusted off the fucking mummy's corpse, raised him up from the dead with some necromancy, put him in a fucking ridiculous cowboy hat, sat him in front of some fucking trees, and is having him read this fucking script that he has no goddamn credibility reading. He's not a good man. He's a bad person. It's like, oh my God. Achoo! I'm allergic to this bullshit.
Her oath to the Constitution, when so many in our party.
Dude, you're fucking, your ass. The Bush administration wiped its ass with the Constitution so many fucking times. You guys didn't give a fuck about the First Amendment. You didn't give a fuck about the Fifth Amendment. All the groundwork for fucking totalitarianism that we're fucking reaping today, that fucking your administration fucking went balls deep into fucking totalitarian ideology. The Obama administration promised to pull us out, but then somehow fucking pushed even deeper down inside. And then by the time Trump got there, it was just like, yeah, give it to me. I'll be the dictator. And he almost was. Just barely didn't get him. The next one of the motherfuckers that tries it's probably gonna fucking succeed. So, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my face, bro.
Do so. Liz is fearless. She never backs down from a fight.
Liz is fearless. She never backs down from a fight. What the fuck ever, bro?
There's nothing more important she will ever do than lead the effort to make sure
This is the fucking mastermind of the Patriot Act telling me about the importance of the Constitution. Gotta love it, man.
Donald Trump is never again near the Oval Office.
Uh-huh.
And she will succeed. I am Dick Cheney. I proudly voted for my daughter. I hope you will too.
Nope. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not that I live anywhere where I could do it, but I'm not doing it. The Fourth Amendment? Didn't I mean the Fourth Amendment? Let me see. I might have meant the Fourth Amendment. Yeah, unlawful search and seizure. You're right. I meant the Fourth Amendment. What the fuck's the Fifth Amendment again? I plead the Fifth. Guarantees the right to a grand jury, forbids double jeopardy, protects against self-incrimination. Okay, right. Gotcha. They probably dismantled that too, honestly. But yeah, I meant to say the Fourth Amendment.
I'm Liz Cheney, and I approve.
Oh my God, get away from me. Ugh. 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 Get it away. Get it away. Not good. Go away. What is her bio on Twitter? Proud rodeo mom. What? Oh my God, where'd it go? Just decided to vanish. Proud rodeo mom, soccer mom, baseball mom, hockey mom, constitutional conservative, honored to serve the people of Wyoming in Congress. Blech. 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 Give me a fucking break. Blech. Gross. Gross AF, bro. Not down with it. Not good. Not pleasing me. I don't feel good about it. It makes me feels bad, bro. Is that still a meme? Feels bad. Feels bad, bro. Not down with it. Oof. Earth is flat. Yeah. TJ Cheney's on his third heart. Okay. Yeah. I don't even know if that's true, but it doesn't surprise me if it is. Oh, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Technically, Dick has a robo-heart. Yeah. They weakened the Fifth by saying they could try people through military court, I thought. Right. So like I said, they pretty much dismantled it all. I mean, they didn't go right to the point of just being like, this is all gone, but they fucking pretty much found ways to subvert the Constitution at every turn. And now he's going to fucking have his come out there and be like, my daughter's a strict Constitution. He's turning into the fucking Sling Blade guy. I almost fucking, for a second there, thought he was like the gruff voice he talks, and I think he'd be like, man, French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm. You know, like I thought he was going to fucking almost do that. It was getting, ugh. In Wyoming, the choice between Liz and an election denier. Yeah, I don't even... Who's winning? Who's going to win? I don't even care. I guess I should, maybe. Should I? No. I don't think I should. Never mind. I take it back. I definitely shouldn't care about that. Vote for my spawn? Yeah, basically. Hello, I'm Dick Cheney. I'm the worst thing that ever happened to America. Anyway, this demon swam out of my ball sack, and you should probably give it power. Good night. Like, all right. Yay. Imagine saying election deniers, the election was never stolen. The election was not stolen, dude. That's literally bullshit. If it was, how come Trump's own fucking judges laughed his fucking case out of the court? Were they just, like, paid by the Democrats? You'd figure that, you know, they'd want to create a brave new world where Trump's president for life, especially since they're in his good graces. But instead they're like, if I rule in this dude's favor, it's going to be like treated like a joke because there's nothing here. The Beast for President 2024. Okay. U.S. Canada super union to keep the extreme rightists out of power forever? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I would rather, I mean, let me just make something clear to you Canadian fucks, okay? I would rather hold hands with the most extreme fringe right-wing American than fucking spend even 1 second in the presence of a fucking Canadian. You hear about Democrats funding right-wing extremists? That's not new. They've always done that. Dude, my uncle, it wasn't a funding thing, but like my uncle who is like a super lib, he's like ultra lib, okay? He fucking voted for, he registered as Republican and voted in the fucking Trump in the primaries. Because his idea was like, oh yeah, fucking Hillary will have no problem defeating this one. He literally went and voted for Trump so that he could fucking, like, because he thought like that's the weakest Republican. That's the one that'll be easiest to beat in a general election. So, you know, like Democrats are always fiddling with this. Like, just leave it alone, guys. You know, you're not helping. You're not helping, bro. Uh-huh. Cheney went into Middle East for the freaking oil. I thought he was dead. He kind of looks like he is. I mean, he's 172 years old. That's what a boot you see. TJ, opinion on Time article about shadow campaign that saved the election. I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, I get that you're like super obsessed with this, but like most people have moved on. You know, even if there was some fuckery, like at this point, I don't give a shit. I don't think there was, but I don't really care because you know what? In 2000, the election was demonstrably fucking stolen from Al Gore by George W. Bush. And like that was the worst administration in American history. Probably by far, if we're really honest. Like, I think Reagan laid a lot of the groundwork that Bush exploited, but still. Like, when we're talking about when we really fucking just became, like, I don't know, like a police state shithole, it was really under Bush. And that motherfucker demonstrably stole that election. Not even, I mean, like, just fucking 100% blatant theft out in the open. No one can even fucking deny that it happened. And we were all expected to suck it up and just move past it. So, you know what? Fuck you. You don't even have as good a case as we have for an election being stolen. In fact, as far as I've seen, you don't even have a fucking case. Like, I've never fucking heard a compelling piece of evidence that the 2020 election was stolen. I've yet to hear one little sliver of a fucking case about it. But even if there was something, it certainly wasn't as blatant as what happened in 2000, and we all had to move on from that. So, suck a dick. Yeah, Bush is a fucking war criminal. Bush fucking took us into a goddamn perpetual war that, you know, really, I mean, I guess that technically the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have ended at this point, but military operations continue in those countries. We've been at perpetual war ever since the fucking Bush administration. TJ, someone living in Louisiana, have you ever tried alligator meat? If so, how does it taste? It's pretty good. So most of the meat you get on an alligator comes from the tail. It's actually, I believe, I don't know if it's the only edible part of the gator, but it's pretty much the only edible part of the gator. If there is something else, it's very, very minor or whatever. Like most of the meat that's sold in restaurants and stuff is from the tail. It can be pretty good if it's prepared right. It's like one of these meats that's pretty unforgiving though. Like if it's not cooked just right, it's gonna be chewy. TJ, do you still play Fallout? Chris says hi. I don't know who fucking Chris is, and I have not played Fallout in quite some time. It's very strange how Bush was accepted as prez. Like, what the fuck, America? Yeah, like he demonstrably stole the fucking election. Not even a question about it. Not only did America accept it, fucking Al Gore accepted it. Al Gore's like, well, that's just how it goes. It's like, what? But he stole it. You won. It's like, nope, that's fine. That's all right then. It's like, okay, cool. Good for you, I guess. I mean, I guess the guy who should have thrown a shit fit about the election being stolen from him didn't. The guy who shouldn't have did. Yeah, guess I'll go make a movie. This dude is still on YouTube. Multiple emojis. Who the fuck does multiple, like, little stupid emojis when they're talking? Like, do an emoji if you want. But, like, you literally have a line of emojis. I guess you're not fucking on the screen chat, whatever. But, yeah. Cool. The emoji wall is pretty sad. So then the same force that allowed Bush to steal, let Biden steal, LMAO. No, because the fucking force that let Bush steal was the Supreme Court. Gore was worried about man, bear, pig, yeah. They just let Bush steal it. They pretty much did. I love how you're treating reality like it's a conspiracy theory and treating conspiracy theory like it's reality. Like, give me a break. Dems would stomp every election these days if it was actually counted correctly instead of lines in the same. I mean, well, we know that the Electoral College, like, how long has it been since a Republican actually won the popular vote? I think it's been like 50 years or some ridiculous amount of time. Like they never win the popular vote. At least haven't in a long time. I don't know when. Someone go look it up. Tell me what the last Republican to win was. Hey, corn pop Italiano. Get him, lampshade. Maybe at that vape. I don't know where it is though. I think it might be by the tank, the reptile tank, or maybe by the TV. I don't know, somewhere. I could use another Coke too, probably. 50 trillion years. Kitty, Bush Sr. So yeah, that's pretty long time. Guess we'll invade then. Yeah. How does it feel to finally surpass 2011 TJ? I've surpassed 2011 TJ every year since then, so I don't know what you're talking about. Is your cat sickly? He's not sickly. He just has a rash on his chin. I don't know if that's considered sickly. He has food allergies, and he also has a propensity to sneak into places and eat things he's not supposed to, which can make him have breakouts, and then he'll scratch at them relentlessly and just cause more damage, so he has to be coned for his own protection. Y'all are censoring the chat, lol. How are we censoring the chat? The problem is Dems are ineffectual as fuck. Who was that? Who was is that? Who was is that? That's not legit. That's not how language works. Chin rash equals monkeypox. Hell yeah. The hanging chads. Have you wished, TJ? It's all about decline since 2011. Ha, you wish. Yeah, I got you. I have not declined. I've noticed that the country around me has declined significantly. But that's been happening since well before 2011. But I'm actually fucking astonishing. If you were a wrestler, what would be your finisher? The Demon Death Grip. I would fucking basically I'd just take them. I'd take their head and I'd grip it really hard, and then I'd smash their face against the fucking top rope a bunch of times. I, like, bounce them off of it, like dribble their head like a basketball, and then slam them back really hard on like one of the fucking, after like, a few of those would be like, maybe fucking do an elbow off the top rope or something afterwards. I don't know. Something cool. If only men could get pregnant, would abortion already be banned nationwide? Why or why not? If cis men could get pregnant, abortion would be, there wouldn't even be a question. You definitely, people would be like, yeah, you get an abortion. We'd never, because like, we'd have to give birth through our dicks. That wouldn't, that'd be painful, That would be a dick destroyer. So yeah, none of that, thank you. I guess you get cesarean sections. When you break your arm? How would that break your arm? Well, you don't fucking keep the arm underneath when you fucking slam them down. You go like, you use the momentum. You like switch the position halfway through. All I know is if the chat is being censored, it's basically Hitler. And it's the beginning of genocide. That's what I know. Damn, you streaming late, TJ. Is it? I guess it is kind of late. It's 1:20 a.m. That's true. I didn't really realize it was even that late. Sorry. I don't really give a shit, though. Why aren't you on Onion Nuggets this week? I am on it next week. So, I don't know. Dick Destroyer should be your finishing move. If it was the Attitude Era, sure. TJ looks like a meth addict. No, I don't. Meth addicts, first of all, have pretty terrible skin. My skin is actually pretty good. Meth addicts tend to be gaunt and emaciated. I am the opposite. I'm fucking fat. I don't know. Meth addicts probably could not maintain like a long, illustrious beard the way that I have because they would tear it out. And they're covered in like scratch marks and shit. Like I look fucking goddamn nothing like a meth addict, okay? I don't know why I'm actually bothering to argue with you on this, but, you know, why not, I guess. It's content. TJ knows and hides it. Yeah, I know. Man, I didn't realize putting Alex Jones on my thumbnail was going to attract so many fucking morons to my chat, but that's fun. Methodics do have bad teeth. I have pretty bad teeth. They're not horrible. There's certainly worse teeth, but they could be better. But they're not like brown and fucking falling out of my mouth, so. So, you know, I'm happy for that. You have a thumbnail? What? Excuse me. Yeah, I don't have any missing teeth. I quit vaping cold turkey about 6 weeks ago. Watching you smoke has me craving it so bad. Well, this is not... it's not vape like you're thinking. It's not nicotine vape. Is that Delta 8? No, it's not Delta 8. I don't think it is anyway. I do not like the death grips. Did you need some transsexual ash taking grips no one even know? Exactly. You don't think that's already in there? Like, give me a break. I'm not telling you which ones. Anyway, let's take a look at some more news stories because they're fun. These ones are a little lighter, but you know, they're around. This is fun here. You guys will like this. This is top scientist admits space telescope image was actually slice of chorizo. Aw, damn. So this scientist just kind of fucking around tweeted this picture. It's like, oh yeah, this is like a, what did he say? I mean, it's not in English, so picture of Proxima Centauri, the nearest star to the sun, located 4.2 light years away from us. It was taken by the James Webb Space Telescope. This level of detail, a new world is unveiled every day. It has 91,000 followers, and yeah, this is just a this is just a slice of chorizo against a black background, and of course, people are like, wow. What an amazing world. You know, like, oh, fuck, bro. But that's just funny to me. Like, I don't know. Like, give me a break. Like, it's a fucking joke, man. You know, like, this post was retweeted and commented upon by thousands of users who took the sign as word. Things are not as they seem. Klein admitted later in a series of follow-up tweets that the image was, in fact, a close-up slice of chorizo taken against a black background. Well, when it's cocktail hour, cognitive bias seems to find plenty to enjoy. Beware of it. According to contemporary cosmology, no object related to Spanish charcuterie exists anywhere else other than on Earth. After facing a backlash from members of the online community for the prank, he wrote, in view of certain comments, I feel obliged to specify that this tweet showing an alleged picture of Proxima Centauri was a joke. Let's learn to be wary of the arguments from positions of authority as much as the spontaneous eloquence of certain images. He's trying to promote skepticism. Like, this is a good thing. He's basically just saying, like, look how stupid you are. Just because I'm a cosmologist, you fucking believed this. Right? So it's just like, don't fucking take an argument from authority and just run with it. You gotta fucking be a little more skeptical than that, which is a good thing. You should always be fucking skeptical. So I think this is a funny fucking prank. I like it. If I'd followed this guy, I obviously don't speak Italian or whatever language this is. French, I guess. I don't speak French. But if I did, I might have fallen for this. I've been like, oh, wow, Proxima Centauri, you know, and then been like, oh, fuck, I'm a dumbass. It's great. Yeah, I mean, like, the guy is fucking... He's promoting skepticism. He's saying, like, be skeptical of every fucking piece of information you see because it's so easy to fucking fake information now. But yeah, you can take that from it, too. All scientists are liars! He's not even a real Frenchman. He's a Swiss. Anyone can see it's a pepperoni. It's not a pepperoni. It's a chorizo. Which is very similar, but whatever. Not really in taste, but like in composite. TJ, do you ever bust out a fart so powerful that it hurts your butthole a bit? I'm like, my farts tend to be small but rank. Like when I fart, it's not like it's not one of these farts where it's like a huge, like bellowing, like. It's not like that. It's more like. But then the fucking smell is like, you'd think it was like an elephant fart, even though it just like sometimes it's barely even audible. It's just like a little. But then it fucking smells like a fucking elephant took a shit in the living room. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh! I love it. Chorizo in Spanish just means sausage, like generic. Oh, okay. Well, it means something more specific here. It's like a specific kind in America, so I guess maybe I'm confused by that. Stupid questions make dumb content. Okay. Well, then go away. I don't know what to tell you. We don't do that meme here. I'll let them get away with it on fucking deep fat fried, but we ain't doing that fucking meme here. Come on, TJ, you had some ass burners. Not really. I mean, occasionally, I guess, I'll have like a fucking big fart. But honestly, like the big ones don't tend to smell as bad as the little ones. Yeah. Yeah, the small farts always smell worse, at least with with me. So check this. This is a fucking town in Michigan, Jamestown, Michigan, that basically voted to shut down its library rather than respect freedom of speech. So here you go. While all of these right-wing assholes pretend that they give a shit about freedom of speech, meanwhile, they're doing this shit. U.S. library defunded after refusing to censor LGBTQ authors. We will not ban the books. You see here, 50% millage increase to groom our kids. Vote no on library. Think about the level, like, one of the top comments that I saw, I don't know where I saw it, but I saw someone commentating on this case. It was like, that said basically like, I think it was on Reddit actually. They said like, even the mayor in Footloose was reluctant to censor books. You know what I mean? Like, we've literally gone to the point where now we are like on a level of like prudish Nazi censor where we're willing to fucking censor books now. Like, we're literally willing to fucking like shut down the public library rather than allow certain points of view to be heard. Like, okay. This is like literally Nazi shit, but cool. So a small town library is at risk of shutting down after residents of Jamestown, Michigan voted to defund it rather than tolerate certain LGBTQ plus themed books. Residents voted on Tuesday to block a renewal of funds tied to property taxes, Bridge, Michigan reported. The vote leaves the library with funds through the first quarter of next year. Once a reserve fund is used up, it would be forced to close, Larry Walton, the library board's president, told Bridge, Michigan, harming not just readers but the community at large. Beyond books, residents visit the library for its Wi-Fi, he said, and it houses the very room where the vote took place. So they literally had the vote about whether or not to continue funding the library at the fucking library. Our libraries are places to read, places to gather, places to socialize, places to study, places to learn. I mean, they're the heart of every community. I wish that was true in America. Certainly not. Now, libraries, libraries have been growing in popularity over the last decade or so because of digital media and stuff like that. But this idea that they're the heart of our community, unfortunately, not true. Americans are not smart enough to make book repositories the hearts of their community. Deborah McCullough, executive director of the Michigan Library Association, told The Guardians, "How can you lose that? We are champions of access," she added, "including materials that might appeal to some in the community and not others. We want to make sure that libraries protect the right to read." Controversy in Jamestown began with a complaint about a memoir by a non-binary writer, but it soon spiraled into a campaign against Patmos Library itself after a parent complained about Genderqueer, a memoir by Maya Kobabe, or Kobabe, I don't know how to pronounce their name, a graphic novel about the author's experiences coming out as non-binary. Dozens showed up at the library board meetings demanding the institution drop the book. The book, which includes depictions of sex, was in the adult section of the library. Complaints began to target other books with LGBTQ+ themes. One library director resigned, telling Bridge she had been harassed and accused of indoctrinating kids. Her successor, Matt Lawrence, also left the job, though the library put Kobabe's book behind the counter rather than on the shelves. The volume remained available. "We, the board, will not ban the books," Walton told Associated Press on Tuesday. A few months later, in March, an anonymous letter went to the homes in the area. It criticized the pornographic, quote-unquote, memoir and the addition of transgender and gay books to the library, according to Lawrence. That fired up a lot of people and got them to start coming to our board meetings to complain, he said. The concern from the public was that it's going to confuse the children. They're going to become confused. The library's refusal to submit to the demands led to a campaign urging residents to vote against renewing funding for the library. A group calling itself Jamestown Conservatives handed out flyers condemning Genderqueer for showing extremely graphic sexual illustrations of two people of the same gender, criticizing a library director who promoted the LGBTQ ideology and calling for making the library a safe and neutral place for our kids. On Facebook, the group says it exists to keep our children safe and protect their purity, as well as to keep the nuclear family intact as God designed. Residents ultimately voted 62% to 37% against a measure that would have raised property taxes by roughly $24 in order to fund the library, even as they approved similar measures to fund the fire department and road work. The library was one of just a few in the state to suffer such a loss, McCullough said. Most passed with flying colors, sometimes up to 80%. Yeah, most communities are not at all willing to gut their library in order to prevent a few gay books from being no one's being forced to read the fucking LGBTQ books that doesn't want to read them. It's not like, okay, welcome to the library. Now you must read LGBTQ ideology, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, this is basically just like the fucking the character from The Simpsons. I can't remember her name. Her only ever good line ever was the line that you're all thinking of. Like, won't somebody think of the children? Give me a fucking break. So yeah, most of the towns were like, yeah, fuck yeah, we want to keep our library. Give me a fucking break. But this town's like, nah, fuck literacy, fuck reading, fuck books. We want to stay dumb, ignorant, fucking hillbilly trash here in fucking gutter fuck Michigan. This town should no longer be allowed to exist. I think this town should be dissolved immediately and given to other towns. The vote came as a shock to Lawrence, who left his job. Can we get this Nathan Creel fuck the fuck out of here, please? How, goddamn, hide the motherfucker from channel. He's in here fucking spewing bullshit nonstop. We don't have to pretend. We don't have to sit here and let him agitate the whole fucking time I'm talking. I get it. You're a fucking conservative retard. Get the fuck lost. The vote came as a shock to Lawrence, who left his job in part because of the town officials' criticisms of the Patmos libraries and libraries across the U.S. I knew that there were people that were upset about material in the library, but I figured that enough people would realize that they're trying to do with the removal of these books is antithetical to our Constitution, particularly the First Amendment, he said. The vote comes as libraries across the U.S. face a surge of demand to ban books. I'm sorry, when there's like a major social movement in your country to ban books, you're living in a fucking shithole, all right? You're living in a fucking shitty place. If there is like a fucking concerted effort in your country that demands like the mass ban and mass censorship of books, I mean, like that needs to be put down. That needs to be put right the fuck down. Like, I don't know what to fucking say beyond that, but like, nah, dog. No, thank you. Not on my fucking watch, bitch. Yeah. So, speaking of conservative ideals, and here's basically a song. This is by a country singer named John Rich, and he has a song called Progress. The chorus of the song is "Stick your progress where the sun don't shine." Basically, he's written. This is a country. I want to just reiterate this. This is a country singer who has written a song against the fucking concept of progress. Like, I'm not fucking joking here. Like, this is a fucking guy who has literally fucking made it his credo. His statement is, fuck progress. Like, progress. Literally, like, improvement. Fuck improvement. Fuck things getting better. Like, that's his fucking stance. So basically what you're saying is you want things to be worse. You want regress. Okay. We're not going to listen to it. I'll give you a sample so you can hear what it sounds like. We can't play it, but we're going to listen to the lyrics, though.
Stick your progress where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. What a fortuitous thing, because I got it right there. Right there at the fucking moment. Most intelligent right-winger, I know, right? So we're going to just read the lyrics to it and comment on those, because we can't listen to the music. And we just need to go back to shitting in the woods, wiping our ass with fucking poison ivy and pine cones. Whoa, I guess I went too fast there. Sorry. I thought we'd be better off at a slower playback speed. There's a hole in this country, okay, where its heart used to be. All right. And Old Glory's divided on fire in the street. All right. They say building back better will make America great. If that's a wave of the future, all I've got to say, stick your progress where the sun don't shine. So literally, like, the idea that we need to fix, like, the crumbling, shitty, broken infrastructure that literally costs our country billions upon billions of dollars every year. The idea that we need to actually solve, like, not even like social problems, but that we need to, fix our fucking infrastructure, which would help, like, everything. Like, so much waste happens because we have this crumbling, shitty infrastructure. But fuck doing anything about that. Fuck fixing that. Stick your progress where the sun don't shine. Street D Malone, tip 666. Thank you so much. What kind of lyrics these don't even rhyme? I don't know. I feel like they rhymed, but maybe I'm mistaken about that. Keep your big mess away from me and mine. Okay. If you leave us alone, we'll all be just fine. Well, we'd all be just fine. Okay, so basically, like, don't fucking do anything to improve my life or the lives of my family. Just leave us alone. Leave us to our own devices. Yeah, you say that until a fucking hurricane rolls through or an earthquake or a tornado, and then all of a sudden it's like, give us money. Help us, help us. And in fact, the states that take the most money tend to be red from the federal government, tend to be these red states that are like, fuck the federal government. All I heard was stick your progress and glory hole. This song is all right. Yeah, I guess you're right, man. Stick your progress where the sun don't shine, right? Okay, yeah. They invite the whole world to come live in our land and leave our countrymen dying in Afghanistan. They say, let go of Jesus and let government save. You can have back your freedoms if you do what we say. Stick your progress where the sun don't shine. So basically just like conservative victim fucking complex 101. TJ, was this written by Daryl Worley as he's a knob? I don't know who Daryl Worley is. But this is basically just conservative victim complex, the song. Like, oh man, they just trying to destroy us. Like, when has anyone come, like, he's literally, it's supposed to be an anti-Biden song where he's saying, like, Biden is coming to you, like, don't, you know, you gotta let Jesus go. No more Biden's a fucking Catholic, bitch. Like, what? Oh my God. Okay. What else we got? Yeah, keep your big ass away from me. If you leave us alone, we'll be just fine. Da-da-da-da-da. Stick your progress for the sun don't shine. Is he gonna repeat the chorus here? All right, here we go. More shit. They shut down our pipelines, and they shut down our voices. They've shut down our main streets. They've shut down our choices. They bent us all over, but it's all over now. Because we figured it out. We ain't backing down. Stick your progress for the sun don't shine. So yeah, like more conservative victim complex bullshit. You know, just like, yeah, man, they fucking trying to control us. Leave us alone, government. Build our pipelines. Fucking keep us in war in Afghanistan forever, but leave us alone. Like, what? Figure out what you want. Because, like, building new pipelines and perpetuating the war machine costs money and requires the government to do things. So you can't subscribe for more. Okay, yeah. I guess I don't think that's an actual lyric. I think it's just letting me know I can subscribe for more of this horse shit. Well, that's the worst goddamn fucking song I've ever fucking heard, and I didn't even hear it. They shut down our pipelines and it took away our freedom. Joe Biden tried to save us from COVID, but we don't need him. Stick your progress while I stick my cousin. Yeah, that'd be a better fucking country song, that's for sure. I love how it says authentic music at the bottom. Let's listen to this. Let's do another little 5-second clip of this so we can hear authentic music. Well, we already heard the chorus. Let's hear what the verses sound like. All right.
There's a hole in this country where its heart used to be.
Oh my God, it's garbage. Can you imagine actually listening to that and feeling pleasure? Can you imagine sitting down and having that dude belt something in your ear and actually thinking like, this is a pleasant noise? Like anybody, like this is the fucking test right here, guys. Fucking just put this fucking on, and anybody who fucking registers a positive response, we fucking kick them out. We make Canada take them. You know, Canada, this is your problem now. We just shove them up there. Here you go. You guys can have these fucks. There's a hole in this country where his heart used to be. Like, oh my God. Blech. Shut up. Suck a fucking rat dick. What's this? Oh my God, dude. Guys. I mean, if Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson can't make it work, then there's just like there's no chance for love in this world. What chance do any of us have if these two couldn't make it? You know what I mean? Like if these two guys here. Dude, I heard an Orville Peck song in a fucking Lexus commercial yesterday. That was the weirdest fucking shit. I was like, I saw a commercial come on and I heard Orville Peck. I don't remember what fucking song of his it was. I think it was like Ain't No Glory in the West or some bullshit. And I'm like, what? They're like, buy a Lexus. It's like, no. Okay, whatever. You know? Dude, guys, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are calling it quits on their relationship after 9 months together. TMZ has confirmed. Still not as bad as Tom McDonald. I don't know who that is, honestly. Sources close to the couple. Oh, booty. Yeah. Booty. Don't give a shit and literally who are breaking up? No. Still not as bad as Tom McDonald. Yeah, we already heard you. We heard you the first time, bitch. It's not how it works, TJ. You guys seem to refuse Lay, Ted Cruz, Steven Crowder, etc. You guys seem to take our refuse. Oh, yeah, that's true. We do. Sources close to the couple say the pair decided to end things. And according to E, who first reported the split, the pair's constantly busy schedules and distance apart made it really hard to keep up their romance. As we reported, Pete had recently been spending a lot of time down in Australia where he's filming a movie, and Kim's balancing traveling and working around the world, all while raising 4 kids in Los Angeles. Kim recently flew down under to see Pete after some time apart, but it's not clear if that's when the two decided to pull the plug on their relationship or if it was more recent. No. No! No! Their love was supposed to span all of time. Theirs was a love that was never to die. Their love was eternal. How can this be? Yeah, you know. I'm sorry, but even though Kanye West is a fucking lunatic, even though Kanye West is like pure insanity, this is still a fucking massive downgrade from fucking Kanye West. I think that's the real problem here. Can we just talk about the unspoken issue that, like, going from Kanye West to fucking Pete Davidson or whatever the fuck is just like the downgrade of downgrades? Like, come on, dude. Like, you know? Like, you went from a dude who, yeah, he's crazy, but at least he's fucking cool, to like a fucking total dweeb. Like, come on, man. And he's not funny. He's supposed to be a comedian, right? I don't know. Pete has a giant pee-pee, that is all. That's all it is. I mean, maybe he does, but it doesn't seem like he fucking knew how to use it or whatever, because she ain't sucking it no more. She ain't sucking it no more. She gave up. She's like, I don't want to suck that dick no more. I don't want to suck on that dick no more. I don't want to suck on that dick no more. He made me laugh. And I laughed my way all the way to a breakup. TJ, that song is light compared to post 9/11. I know there's worse fucking songs out there. But I was on Daily Wire and I saw this dude giving an interview about how great his song was. And I figured it must be terrible. And of course it was. Dun, 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 dun. Why do we care about any of these child-eating lizards? I don't know. That one's got a big butt. That's why I care. You want to know why I care about Kim Kardashian? It's because she's got a big ass. I would never give a shit enough to watch her show or anything, but like I like her big butt, and I think she's pretty. And I don't like this guy. I don't care about him at all. He can go die in an AIDS fire, but like I don't know. I think she's pretty. I like her. I like her look. So that's why I give a shit, I guess. Because I'm hoping, you know, one of these days, man. Yeah, she's one of the OG big butts, you know. Let's send them to Alaska. We can send Pete to Alaska. I think Kim Kardashian should host a show where dudes come on the show and throw pieces of bologna at her ass and try to make them stick, you know? And whoever can get the most pieces to stick gets to, like, eat off the pieces that stuck. I don't know. That might be a good show. You guys, I think I'd like to see a show like that. Maybe it doesn't need to be like a whole series, but, you know, do like a special event, you know? Something like, I don't know. Just throwing out ideas. Dude, this is a popular thing, I guess. It's got like 7.5 million views. A lot of you guys have probably seen it. But this is a cartoon that I watched as a kid. Okay? I had this on VHS as a kid. I don't know where my mom got it for me or whatever the hell. Or maybe I bugged her to buy it for me in a supermarket or something. But this is an episode of the old Fantastic Four show. The animation is, I mean, nightmarishly horrible. This is supposed to be Magneto, yes. Reed Richards is about to trick Magneto. I mean, you could probably see here if you can read through the chat. Magneto defeated by wooden gun, all right? Magneto? Magento? I don't know. I call him Magneto. Fuck you.
I defeated you once.
Listen to his fucking voice. I defeated you once. Who the fuck would ever think Magneto's voice would sound that way? You know what I mean? Like, who looks at that character and thinks like, yes, blah, blah, blah. You know? Like, why is he talking like that?
And I shall do it again.
No, Magneto.
Look at fucking Magneto. Look at him. Look at the fucking, look at the fucking proportions. How did I ever accept, like, oh my God, dude. Now, even as a kid, I knew this shit that happened was fucking stupid, okay? But I never really realized just how bad this looked when I was a kid.
Let you in before, in order to learn your plan, to trap you. But now the victory belongs to the Fantastic Four.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power? No mere weapon can stop me. With but a gesture, I can destroy it, or turn it against you. Behold, I'll make it leap from your hand and make you it.
The level of exposition, dude, like, why? Like, why would Magneto sit there and explain, like, aha, you are forgetting my insane magnetic powers. I will now do this thing and describe it before I do it. You know, like, what?
Its target. Now!
Not this time, Magneto. This time I'm fighting for real.
It's
Her ass is fake. You know, I've never objected to some artificial flavor. You know what I mean?
impossible. It cannot be. Nothing can defy my magnetic power.
The Fantastic Four can. You're finished, Magneto. Surrender. You have no other choice.
Why? Why will the gun not obey me? My power is gone. I'm helpless. Magnetism. It was my greatest weapon. And without it, I am lost.
It's over, Magneto. You haven't a chance.
I surrender.
Okay. So, like, I'm sure you probably know because of the title, Magneto defeated by wooden gun. The reason that Magneto's power is not working on this gun is because it's made of wood. You'd think that, like, somewhere along the line, Magneto would realize that. I mean, he's wearing a metal helmet. Like, couldn't he just test his power on literally anything metal around? Like, he's wearing metal. He carries metal things with him. Like, he could be like, oh, let me try this. Oh, turns out that I do have my magnetic power still. You know, like, but instead, the second it doesn't work on this gun, he's just like, I give up. I surrender. Obviously, I'm dumb.
I give up anything.
Dude, even watching this shit as like a 5-year-old, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, like,
Anything.
it's that dumb.
Without my power, I cannot fight.
And the battle is ended.
It gets worse, though.
That signal.
So you might be wondering, who the fuck is this little retarded robot, okay? So this version of the Fantastic Four does not have the Human Torch. I think his name is Johnny Storm or whatever. I'm not like a huge Fantastic Four fan, so I don't really know. But he didn't have that because parents groups were like, if children see that guy, they're gonna light themselves on fire, basically. So they didn't fucking put him in there because they were so scared that kids were gonna fucking, in an attempt to imitate it, light themselves on fire. So yeah, but this is about to get so much dumber than it already is.
Orders from the Fantastic Four.
Bella Bell's greatest ass ever. You're all right. That's a boast that I have to see. Bella Bells, Bella Bells. It's Christmas time in the city. I mean, it is pretty nice. And it's tattooed, which is like an extra perk, I feel like.
Close in. Take Magneto prisoner.
Well, at least the robot doesn't have a super annoying voice.
Here come
you
the
know?
police. You won't be lonely.
All right, here come the police with their fucking metal cars. They're
Much
about
longer.
to put
Okay, Richards. We'll
their
take
metal
care of him now.
guns.
First, tell me, how did you do it? How did you take away my power?
I didn't, Magneto. I merely tricked you.
You lie. I couldn't control your gun. You made me lose my magnetism.
You're wrong. I just guessed that you'd overlook one simple thing. Your magnetic power only works on metal.
Where the cops are just like standing around like, why are you telling him this? Like, we're about to put him in metal cars. We have metal guns. We're about to put him in, slap him in a pair of metal handcuffs. Like, how does any of this work? I don't like tatted butts. That gets you a timeout in this chat. I'm not gonna outright censor you, but you're gonna fucking go away for a minute and think about what you just fucking said, bro.
Like all magnets. But my gun isn't real. I made it out of wood, specially to fool you.
What? Wooden gun?
That's why your power didn't work. And it's why you're a prisoner of the police now. Take him away, men.
A wooden gun. He tricked me with a wooden gun.
You're literally surrounded by metal now, Magneto. You can fight now. You could flip the police cars. You could throw one at fucking Reed Richards' fucking head. You do all kinds of shit. What are you talking about? Fucking Magneto, you are a dumb fuck, bro. Look at you. Look at this dumb, hapless fuck. Ugh, what a dipshit. A wooden gun! Fuck. Oof. Oof. Yeah, that was the shit that we fucking had when I was a kid. They showed that to me as a child for entertainment, right? That's how fucking goddamn bad off we were. You fucking kids think you got it bad today. That's the shit that I had to fucking grow up with. Yeah, dementia Magneto fucking getting tricked by a goddamn Garrick. You know, if you weren't already named after a character notorious for telling lies, I would fucking punish you for that. But you know what? I already know you're a liar. Made. No wonder Charles distanced himself. What an oaf. I know, right? Yeah, no wonder our generation was fucking stupid. Shit that they fucking made us accept. Like, here you go, kids. Watch this trash. A wooden gun! Oh, man. Simp pay pig outed himself. Dude, I need some simp pay pigs. You guys can be my pay pigs. Give me money and I'll fucking talk dirty to you. I don't know. Magneto going full Biden, dude. Yeah, dude. It was like President fucking... Dude, we need that. You can play Skyrim on a pregnancy test. I mean, I often do. The backtrack is a vibe. Yeah, of course. Listen, Jack, you can't fool me. I got magnetism powers, Jack. Nonsense, Joe Biden. In fact, you can't even stop this wooden gun. Oh! All right. I'll be your pay pig, but I need to find a job first. God damn it, go out there and get a damn job. I grew up with this horrible shit like G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, wait, we had awesome shit. Dude, G.I. Joe sucked. Thundercats had a cool intro, but, like, the actual cartoon pretty much sucked. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, like, the only one of those three that you listed that was actually kind of good. And even that, Like by modern, like we would not, like that fucking show be laughed at today. It was just like the best of the three you listed. Like all those 80s fucking and early 90s cartoons were just like a bunch of fucking characters that were drawn exactly the fucking same, saying like the cheapest, fucking most poorly written, cranked out, lazy lines, fucking animated by cut rate animators in fucking sweatshops across the globe, in whatever country would do it cheapest. The fucking, like, they were barely animated half the time. Like the characters would just like be standing still and like not even, like there wasn't even any motion. Some pay-pigging for the squirrels to stop twisting. I don't even know what the fuck you're saying, but I agree with it because you gave me money. Captain Planet was honestly better than G.I. Joe or whatever that other one was they listed. TJ, why do you like big butts? You're not big enough to get past the cheeks. I mean, first of all, those cheeks compress pretty well. Second of all, like, what makes you think that that's what I want to do with the big butt? There's a lot of things. There's about 100 things I'd rather do with the big butt than fuck it. I'm really not that into penetrative sex. I'd much rather, like, if I see a big ass, I would like to spank it, bite it, lick it, have it sit on me, jiggle it, play with it, squeeze on it. There's 1,000,001 things that I want to do. Fucking it's pretty low down on the list. Now, if I had a huge cock, maybe fucking would be like number 1, or it'd be like at least higher up. It'd be like in the top 10. I don't know. But I don't, so like whatever. Biden has a super scent powers. You can smell child 400 yards away. Like, oh, I tell you what, Jack, I smell the blood of the innocent. Ever heard of eating the booty like groceries? Heard of it. I invented it. Bop it. Suck it. Finger it. Butts are stinky. I mean, if they're not well kept, I guess they can be. I have no more stories or anything, by the way. I just, at this point, it's just going to be chatting with the chat for however long I'm interested in doing that. So if anyone who's like expecting more actual content, sorry, you could probably just go now. Do I have a fan box, fan mail P.O. box? I do not. Monkeypox spreader. Monkeypox spreader. Blacklisted. Bro, people being mean to TJ. Dude, it's because Alex Jones is in the thumbnail. Because I've done a number of streams and I have not received this level of fucking dumb vitriolic morons in them. But today, they're here in force because Alex Jones is in the thumbnail. So what a bunch of fucking right-wing loons fucking clicked on and are trying to fucking be like, you suck, TJ. You bad. You bad. You dick small. You stupid. You don't understand things that I understand. I'm smarter than you. I'm better than you. You irrelevant. You dumb. It's like, oh my God. Just, yep, great, good, cool. Go away. Bye. I want to say She-Hulk's butt. See you later. Peace the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Part of the gay frog agenda. Yeah, it's all true. How do you feel about the Kyle Busch situation? Who the fuck is Kyle Busch? Yeah, bro. I mean, Alex Jones's debate, quote unquote, with Pierce Morgan was probably one of the greatest pieces of entertainment I've ever seen. So, good stuff. It's the poo-poo. Can't believe you, TJ. You used to be pro-freedom. The fuck is that shitty makeup? How's it shitty? I did a good job. You don't know. Can't believe you, TJ, used to be pro-freedom. All right. I feel like I'm more pro-freedom now, but whatever. You'll read my manifesto, even though you claim to not like me. Like, I want to read this because I like to be triggered by things, and you're going to fucking sit down and read it like, oh, yeah, actually, he's right about everything he said. But will you actually accept it? That's the question. 1776 will commence again if you try to take away our firearms. Commence again! TJ is pro his freedom. I mean, everyone's pro their own freedom, right? The question, I guess not everyone is actually pro their own freedom. There are people out there who are willing to fucking give up their own freedom for very little reward. What if Trump wins 2024? He's got to get past DeSantis first, but, you know, assuming he can do that, you know, he takes power, you know, all of a sudden, all of the problems that the conservatives are acting like are such a big deal right now will become non-issues because they'll just say, oh, Trump's doing a great job. Even though there's probably going to be like massive civil unrest and like increasing drought and like a lot of horrible conditions throughout the country. Somehow they're just going to lie and say that America's great again or whatever. Great again. LGBT agenda will destroy social cohesion. Maybe a person who can spell cohesion should be the one saying that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Trump will win in 2024, but if he does, he'll probably just try to, like, I mean, he'll probably ram through a lot of fucking right-wing agenda. I don't think he'll be able to install himself as dictator or anything, but he might be able to rig the system enough to where our elections matter even less than they already do. Make America great again. Eat them grits. I like watching Alex Jones get mad. I mean, he's very entertaining. That's the point. He's a very entertaining fucking figure. He's a very spectacle of a figure, right? Anyone who takes Alex Jones at his word is a meathead. I mean, like, the guy has literally fucking said in a previous court case that he's performance art. You know? 2024, I don't give a shit. I mean, there's very little reason to. It's not like there's actually like some transformative candidate participating in the fucking race, right? If there was anybody who was like, I am an actual like radical of some sort, who is, you know, recognizes that, you know, extreme change is needed at this point and that America has become completely stagnant and that we're lurching ever, you know, more towards totalitarianism, then, you know, and actually had a person who was like legitimately a different perspective on foreign policy, on business policy. I mean, I guess I don't even have to really be a radical. I mean, just someone who actually is an alternative to the fucking sort of like neo-lib, neo-conservative fucking pseudo-centrism that's peddled to us. I mean, that would be a fucking breath of fresh air at this point. Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones have both said they're performance art, almost like the right-wing figures are all frauds. Almost like they'll just say whatever they need to say. I don't know if they're necessarily all frauds, but like, I mean, I guess they are in a sense. I don't know if I disbelieve their... I mean, I don't know if I doubt their conservatism, but they're willing... They definitely believe the ends justify the means. They don't have any sort of like, we aren't totalitarian yet, you smoking too much weed. Well, I mean, I think it's a gradient. I don't think it's like 1 second we're free and then the next second it's totalitarianism. I think there's like a gradient that leads into it. And yeah, I think we're far enough along that you could definitely describe us as totalitarian at this point. But I don't think that we've yet yielded to complete and utter totalitarianism. I think it could be worse. I think it will be worse. Alex Jones needs to start wearing a bow tie. Yeah, why not? I was unable to vote in my state's primary last Tuesday, and it kills me. My reproductive rights are at stake. Why weren't you able to vote? What happened? Biggest incarceration state ever. Biggest warmonger ever. Yep. That's true. Alex Jones is a snake oil salesman. Yep. Alex Jones 2024. He would never win. He wouldn't even have a chance. It'd be a total non-starter. He might be able to get some traction in like the Libertarian Party, but I don't even know if he could get the nomination of that party because he's that far out there. But maybe. But he wouldn't get any farther than that. Anyone else on YouTube you'd recommend checking out, TJ? Nope, just me. Just watch me 24/7. Go tuck yourself. None of us in the West know what actual totalitarianism is because we never lived under it. I don't know if that's really true. I mean, people have lived under totalitarianism and then lived in the United States. I specifically remember people who lived in Germany under, Hitler, saying that the Bush administration was veering dangerously close to similar territory. But, I guess there's always going to be someone like that. I agree with Galen. America, democracy is a thin veil until you challenge the system in any way. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the very narrow range of ideology that our politicians represent, it's like, do we really have much of a choice here? I'm not one of these no difference between the parties guys, but what I would say is that there's very little, and it's kind of it's a little bit superficial what's presented to us. It's almost like they just kind of take certain groups of people and hold their rights hostage in order to push forth their war agenda and their, big banking agenda. The U.S. literally interned people, Japanese people in World War II. I mean, no one denies this. Like, why? Yeah. I mean, I would say why bring it up, but I guess it's not a wrong to bring it up. But like, what's the implication? Like that that I would deny that if you said it. What do you think of the Zawahiri? I don't know who that is, so I don't think anything about it, I guess. Same endpoint, different means of getting there. Yeah, maybe you're right. More than one way to fucking skin a cat or whatever the fucking weird, disgusting saying is. The U.S. is a fascist state, not a democracy or republic. There is no two parties. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. That seems like hyperbolic to me. Come on, bro. Come on, what? Your mom's face? I don't know. What do you want? Jesse the Mind Ventura? Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura's cousin. FDR was authoritarian. If he was, then he's the kind of authoritarian we need again. I wouldn't describe him that way, but yeah, I think we need a fucking decisive leader. I mean, honestly, I don't really see anyone who could solve the mess we're in right now that wouldn't be described by some as authoritarian. Because, like, what do you want to push over? The chat is a toilet tonight. Oh my god, it's like the worst ever. It's definitely the worst I've seen in a while, but that's okay. It's at least interesting to interact with. U.S. is a civil oligarchy, aka managed democracy. I like to say that the United States is on one level it tries to present itself as democracy, but then you dig a little deeper and it's like, oh well, actually it's a republic, okay? And then you dig a little deeper and it's like, well, what it actually is, beyond like what the founding documents lay out, is a little bit of a theocracy and a little bit of a military dictatorship and a little bit of an oligarchy. And it seems like those are like the three systems that are in competition, but really more collusion to control things. And then we're given sort of like, hey, here's the same business policy and the same foreign policy with a few differences in social policy. And here it is existing as two political parties that you can choose between. And it's like, well, I don't really want to fall for that. It's like, well, if you don't, you could lose this right or this right. So there you go. We've basically divided you based on like, hey, do you want you have a same-sex attraction? Okay, well, if you vote for this party, you're fucked. Oh shit. You like your guns? Well, if you vote for this party, you're fucked. Oh shit. Scare a bunch of people into, you know, like, hey, people, be divided by like these personal attributes, because if you fucking vote for the other guys, they're gonna fuck you over, and only we can protect you. But then it's like, okay, but then you guys totally agree on how Wall Street should be treated. You agree on how the moneyed interests should get ahead at all times. You agree on foreign policy in pretty much every instance. And when you disagree, it's never like a radical disagreement. It's just like, you know, should we have a fucking peace treaty with fucking Iran or not? You know? Like, it's shit like that. It's not like an actual difference of like, we should have a non-interventionist foreign policy. Like, that's not represented anywhere. There's no fucking legit fucking criticism of Israel on either side of the aisle. There's like a few little politicians here and there that'll actually fucking criticize Israel, but most of them won't do it. There's a few politicians here and there that'll criticize Saudi Arabia, but most of them won't fucking do it. And it's just fucking ridiculous. I'm still under the impression we could go dig up JFK, throw his dead ass in the Oval Office, and he'd still do better than the last 30 years of presidents. I mean, he'd be a corpse, so. How about give us all those rights? It's because the parties used to divide people on those issues and appeal to their emotions. Yeah, well, I mean, because there's no fucking third voice that's rising up and saying, like, we should protect all of these rights and, like, maximize individual freedom. There's not a third voice come up to say that, and even if there was, it would be totally marginalized and fucking scoffed at and, you know, pushed out of the discourse in by every means possible. Like, they wouldn't allow that voice to make it onto the fucking stage at the debates or something, you know? The only fucking guy they've ever let on the stage that wasn't a Democrat or Republican was Ross Perot, whose politics was pretty fucking mainstream when it comes right down to it. You know, he was not some kind of like radical departure from the two-party system, which is the only reason he was tolerated. And also, I think they knew he would make a fool of himself on the national stage. Israel and Saudis are an extension of the U.S. I mean, in a lot of ways, they act like it. Libertarian Party, lol. The Libertarian Party literally booed a candidate for supporting driver's licenses. Like, that's not a viable fucking party. They literally booed a candidate who said that children shouldn't be allowed to go buy heroin. Like, the Libertarian Party is like off the deep end insane. They literally think that you should be able to drive a car without a license and that a child should be able to go into a drugstore and buy heroin. Like, come on. Like, you've lost your fucking mind. Like, that's not a valuable freedom. That's okay to fucking crack down on. Buckley versus Vallejo was a Supreme Court ruling in 1976 that essentially legalized bribery by making it freedom of speech protection. Yeah, I mean, like, they've done worse since. In the U.S., people are forced to be dependent on the ownership class for their lively good. You mean livelihood, but freedom only exists theoretically and on paper. Freedom only exists for the fucking wealthy. Like, this is a country where unless you possess wealth, you don't possess freedom. Like, the amount of freedom that you have is directly proportional to the amount of wealth that you control. The Saudis are an extension of, what are they? An extension of what? For sure, the Democrats are a million times better than Trump or Republicans, but they're still awful. I would not say I would say they're a far cry from a million times better. I wish they were a million times better. They're a far cry from that. They're better on a few issues. Like a handful of almost tokenistic issues. Jesse Ventura says he's the mind now, mainly due to arthritis. He can no longer go to the gym. Okay, I gotcha. Thoughts on the Unabomber? I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on the Unabomber, to be honest with you. I've never read his manifesto. I know he was adamantly against technology. I consider myself to be pro-technology. So I would say that I don't agree with him philosophically. I don't agree with him blowing people up. Or at least I don't agree with his reasons for doing so. We're just in a more refined version of feudalism. I would even argue it's not even, I don't even know, is it really more refined even? I don't know that we're in it yet, but we're definitely, that's our trajectory at this point. I don't like hyperbole. I don't like people who feel the need to exaggerate everything because it fucking destroys the value of truth. The only votes that count are those are by those who pay to get what they want. Nothing else matters. I agree with that. Thoughts of wanton murder and violence. Wontons? I like wontons, especially violent, murderous wontons. T-Jechnology, I love it. They're better on not destroying the separation of church and state. Come on now, TJ. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Look, like I said, I'm not one of these parties have no difference between them people. I know that there's people out there who legitimately hold to the position that there is no difference between the political parties whatsoever. I think there is, but I think that you have to look at the limitations of that, and they're pretty extraordinary limitations. Like, when you get outside of the few tokenistic issues that these two parties, quibble over, you will find that there is a ginormous area of things that they just do not fight about and totally agree on. And, have you ever seen a fucking Congress not vote for the Defense Authorization Act? They always do it. They always fucking vote for it. Without conditions, without debate. And they increase it, and they increase it, and they increase it, and they increase it. And presidents, whether they're Democrat, Republican, whatever they said on the campaign trail, continue to sign the fucking thing. So, and then, we've not seen any significant new taxes to the Wall Street people. I read an article today, or a headline today, that was Joe Biden's not going to raise taxes on the rich, but the IRS is about to get a lot tougher on them, though. They're going to crack down a lot harder. It's like, bullshit. What an excuse. So, yeah, there's plenty of shit where I don't think there's, significant difference between the two parties. And they both kind of march to a maybe not the beat of the same drum, but a pretty goddamn similar beat from pretty goddamn similar drums. And in the same general fucking direction. They don't look old. They are old. Everyone looks so old. They're old. They don't look old. They're not like young people who just happen to kind of look old or something. Thoughts on killing people for fun. Mendacious C, what are you doing? Put down the fucking vodka. Go fucking lay down. This just occurred to me, but is it possible Republicans went so much more batshit as a response to Bernie to scare people enough into staying within the status quo? No, I don't think that's why. I'm old. Good for you. Unibomber has audiobooks. I don't identify with him. Bet he is smart. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I'm allergic to you. Both bought and paid for. That's what they got in common. I agree. I can't argue with that one. If you had to eat one type of food for a month, what would it be? I'd say Philly cheesesteaks. I don't think I could do Philly cheesesteaks for a month. I don't know. Can it be like a compound food? I guess it can if it's a Philly cheesesteak. It'd probably be some kind of sandwich because that can represent every fucking, kind food group at once. So I don't know, probably some kind of sandwich. Let me think. I don't know. Probably just like a club or something. It's kind of boring, but like honestly, it has a good representation of shit. So I don't know. Like you have all the vegetables on there, and the cheese and meat and all that. Why are you gay? Because dick is fucking really good. I don't know. It's nice. Have you seen it? I don't know about you, but I see like a big dick. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty cool looking thing. I like that thing over there. I like the way it's shaped. I like the way it like looks. I like the heft of it. I like the smell of it. Dicks are just like pretty cool. So, yeah. That's probably something to do with it. Thoughts on tickling people for fun? I feel like unless you're like super intimate with that person, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't think you should casually tickle someone. I believe that. Gotta suck it. Please stop. You stop. You stop, motherfucker. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Settle down. TJ, coming from Kenya, I often feel sad no one gives a shit about the continent of Africa and its problems, but your globalist ideals give me hope, so thank you. Yeah, you got to read my book when it comes out. Not my Sexbot Uprising novel, but my other book that I'm working on right now. It's more of a pamphlet. I don't know. It's probably too long to be a pamphlet, I guess. But it's, I don't know. It's probably going to be like 10 to 15,000 words. Maybe 20. But it gets into, like, some of the ideas. I'll probably do an audiobook version of it, too. But I'm going to make you guys pay to read it first. But, yeah, it lays out my vision of, like, a globalist society and all that. And why I should rule over it with an iron fist. Or at least an aluminum fist. Republicans haven't meaningfully changed. They are an extension of ideologies that have existed since the Civil War. I think that's probably the best answer to that. It was just more advantageous of them to play the parts of moderates for a while. Now they no longer have to do that, so they're not. A zine. What is to be done by TJ? I'm calling it, at this point, the working title is Why I Should Be King, the U World Order. And then, like, the front cover is going to be me in a crown pointing at you, like, you know. It's going to be good. You're going to like it. It has a sense of humor, and it's going to be written very, like, plain Englishy, you know? Will you do an ebook release? Yeah, it'll probably. I'm not gonna charge an arm and a leg for it or anything. I'll charge like I don't know how much I can get away with charging for a paperback of it, and there's no point in doing a hardcover of such a small book. So I'll pump out like a little paperback version, and I'll do like an ebook for like I don't know $1.99 or something. Yeah, I'm writing the sex robot book too, but that one's gonna take longer because it's like way more involved and intricate and shit. I'm juggling like I don't know, like it's probably a little overambitious for a first novel, and I'm still like trying to figure it all out and shit. But I don't know. I have like how many plots am I juggling now? 8, something like that. So it's like way complicated. Yeah, I'm a nut job. So it's definitely like I should have probably picked a more linear, one perspective story. But fuck that. That's not what I really like. So who is the artist for your book cover? I forget his name. It's like Ozzy something. How is your writing goal going? So I kind of amended it a little bit. I decided that the writing doesn't necessarily have to be my novel. Like it should mostly be that, but I've decided to count if I do something else. So the first day I did 22,356 words, then I did 1,328 words, then I did 726 words, then I did 1,771 words the day after that. Now, I haven't done any words tonight, but I did do this stream, so there is that. But yeah, I still would like to write something tonight. But yeah, I mean, I'm not even really tired, so I'll probably be up for at least another fucking 3 or 4 hours at least. Maybe I can force myself to go to sleep after that. Wouldn't you agree that the potential future MAGAs want is demonstrably worse than any stagnation the Dems create? I feel like that outweighs economic similarities between the parties. It's not just economic, it's also foreign policy. But yeah, domestic policy is really where you get the contrast between the two. And this is why I don't try to make this both parties are the same argument, because I think that their visions of domestic policy are radically different. But I also think that they use that to divide people to maintain a two-party fucking system where, you know, like, I think so. Like, I don't feel like either of these parties really gives a shit about winning. You know, I think that both of them rile up the base to fucking crave that victory, but I don't think either of them is actually actively trying to like pursue it. You know, I feel like the two parties do little things to fuck with each other and to rile up their bases and stuff. But I don't really think that they do, you know, I don't really think they do stuff that's like, I don't think the Republicans are like trying to take over the way that a lot of fucking commentators do. I don't think the Democrats are interested in a takeover either, like a lot of Republicans might think. I think these parties are I think these parties are already in control, and they view the status quo as like, hey, their job is like preserve this status quo, because in this status quo, we're powerful. You know, and I think there's some true believers in both parties that probably want something a little bit more radical, but they're marginalized. They're pushed to the fringes. They're not the fucking ones in control. The ones in control want a maintenance of the status quo because the status quo is tremendously advantageous for them. And on Audible, yet as Gale's eternal bridegroom is. Yeah, I mean, there'll definitely be an audiobook version of anything I do. TJ needs to make a sequel to Transformers 5. Oh, yeah. Everyone loves Transformers 5. So, I mean, like, if you're in a position of power, if you're like Chuck Schumer or Mitch McConnell, why would you ever be, like, why would Chuck Schumer want the Democrats to just take everything over? Because then they can be blamed for any fucking problem, and there's no fucking pressure release valve for all the Republicans out there that hate the Democrats. Like, you know, you basically have created a system where, you know, you have everybody pissed off, but everybody believes that the fucking solution to the thing that's pissing them off is just to go and fucking get the guys that are slightly less horrible in power. You know? What's the best depiction of an exploding head in a movie? Scanners. Scanners, followed by shopping mall, followed by rubber. Basically, like a sports team, doesn't matter who actually wins, it's all a fucking show, a bunch of meaningless bullshit to get rabid about. Well, the thing is, they do fucking put real shit on the line. You know, it's like, all right, gay people or, you know, whatever the fuck. They fucking, you know, they make it like, hey, your rights are at stake, you know? Or like, hey, you know, if this party gets in charge, they ain't gonna like you motherfuckers. Like, you're not gonna let your freak flag fly if these motherfuckers are in charge, so you better vote for us. You know? And then they do similar shit to the Republicans. They're controlled more by like, all these minorities are coming for you. They're scary. They're a horde. The only thing that can hold them back is us. You know? So it's basically like the Republican Party is just about like, hate these people that are coming to destroy your freedoms or whatever the fuck. Even as these people have no freedoms to destroy. But they're told like these immigrants and these gays and all this is going to fucking do some harm to you. So that's what gets them into the fucking voting booth. And then, you know, all the people who are fucking, you know, the victims of that shit are basically told, like, yeah, these people want to fucking destroy you. And if you don't vote for us, they're going to fucking come kill you one day, you know? So it's like, oh, shit. Guess I gotta vote Dem. You know, so they play with fucking fire. Like, you know, they don't. It's not like it's all a show in the sense. If it was just like all a show in that it had no consequence whatsoever, then that wouldn't be sufficient motivation. So they create enough motive for you to actually get out there and fucking participate, but just enough. That's all they do. And then you're fucking basically you do what you're told from there. Even if you fucking say like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. You still do what they tell you, you know? You just complain about it. Like, I ain't gonna listen to you. And then you just listen to them, you know? And the Christo-fascists definitely want a complete takeover. There's a lot of people who want to take over. But the question is, do the people in charge of these parties want that? No. There's factions that they represent that want their power fucking solidified, but like actual loyalty to those principles is not advantageous to the people who are in fucking power in the status quo. Like if you're fucking, you know, Mitch McConnell or something like that, are you going to look at some Christo-fascists and be like, yeah, that's my best interest is these people are in charge? Not really. His best interest is to keep things as close to the way they are as possible. So, you know, they're going to do everything they fucking can. But yeah, you know. And by the way, Mitch McConnell has done more for Republicans than Donald Trump ever did, and they hate his guts. Just because he doesn't talk the talk. They don't like how he fucking is a wheeler and a dealer, but you know what? That's the motherfucker that actually gets shit done in Washington. Sorry to tell you. I want The Rock to be POTUS. Okay. Dude, the Supreme Court is fucked for a lifetime because you didn't vote for Hillary. It's all the same, man. Non-voters are worse than elites like Hillary. The Supreme Court... I mean, first of all, for all you know, if we had elected Hillary, we could be destroyed right now. Because she wanted to set up a no-fly zone in Syria, which if Russia had violated that, we would have been at war with Russia, and that could have easily led to fucking nuclear Armageddon. And we're already fucking flirting with that again right now. But yeah, so, you know, for all you know, the universe where we elected Hillary, we're all fucking dead. So, but yeah, I mean, if that didn't happen, then yes, the Supreme Court would have been made up of liberals instead of conservatives, and probably we would not have like lost Roe v. Wade. Fair enough. But you know, I don't know that you know, you can't possibly look into a crystal ball and know like what's going on in the Hillary universe. So, fortune telling, it only goes so far. We can make reasonable predictions. I'm not saying we can't, but like, you really don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is why I've like made it clear throughout this dialogue and discussion that yeah, civil liberties are on the table for these guys. They are willing to fuck with that. But what I'm saying is that you don't have any representation on other issues like Israel, like Saudi Arabia, like our foreign policy, our interventionist foreign policy in general. The stuff we do in South America, the stuff we do in Africa, the stuff we do in the Middle East, you know, these installations of puppet dictators and CIA spy networks and all this stuff that we do, all this dirty, underhanded shit that we get up to across the globe, both parties support that. These moneyed interests controlling the political process and pumping massive fucking donations into the coffers of both parties, guess what? Both parties support that. And both parties dance to the fucking tune of these rich fucks. So, yeah, I mean, like, are they willing to fight each other on some social issues? Yes. Could that possibly affect you? Yes. That means that they're not identical. But what I'm saying is that on a lot of stuff, they're actually working in complete collusion, and that the stuff that they do use to divide you, while it is substantive, is still being used in that way. And it's important that you recognize that, you know, and that's why it frustrates me when there's people out there who fucking just say they're both the same, because that's such an easily defeated argument, because clearly they're not the same. There's lots of stuff that has passed with Democrats and been opposed by every Republican. There's plenty of stuff that's been the opposite. And it's always fucking social issues. It's always like, hey, should we give fucking, like, you know, this first group of people rights or whatever? Like, should we like the gay vote not too long ago? It's like, hey, should we codify gay marriage into law so that, you know, the Supreme Court can't threaten it? And, you know, a bunch of Republicans are like, nope, we shouldn't do that. Fuck that. Fuck them faggots. And the Democrats are like, of course we should do that. We love our gay brothers and sisters, right? So totally different responses there because, you know what? Because neither party, the system doesn't give a shit. It doesn't need to give a shit about gays one way or the fucking other. It can be fucking, they can fucking make their money and do their wars in a society that's pro or anti-gay. It doesn't fucking make a difference to them. So they're willing to fucking play fucking political football with it. With your rights. You know, because Hillary Clinton, at the end of the day, you know, maybe she would have appointed a better fucking Supreme Court justice or 2 or 3, and we'd be sitting a little prettier on that fucking end of the spectrum. But guess what? She doesn't fucking actually believe in any of that shit. Maybe you think that doesn't matter, but I think it does. Because the fact that someone who is so cynical and manipulative just continues to be handed power and handed power and handed power over and over again. Well, not in Hillary's case. She fucking has consistently failed to electorally secure power. But like Joe Biden, Obama, whoever the fuck, Bill Clinton, or, you know, even like the same thing for the Republican side with the Trumps and, you know, the Bushes and so on. You know, they fucking don't care. They don't fuck as long as we continue to just elect cynical manipulators who are willing to say whatever they fucking think they need to say to get votes, to keep their positions, and to keep their coffers full of, you know, dirty money from corporate America and from super PACs and from the billionaire class and the millionaire class. As long as they're willing to fucking say whatever they need to say to appease those people, then you're never going to have true representation. So I don't know. I think the only thing that can really fucking solve anything in this country is some kind of awakening to the fact that this fucking scam continues to be run on us, and a total rejection of every fucking sitting politician, and a total dismantling of, like, this entire fucking system at this point, because it obviously gave rise to this. Like, this has failed. Sorry. I know you liked it. It's a good idea on paper. You know, the Constitution, mighty pretty little document you got there. You know, Declaration of Independence, nice, beautiful language in some portions. But hey, it didn't fucking work. Whoops. Try something new. Republicans will change election laws to favor them, making it harder to get anything done. Well, that's the only way they can win moving forward. Think about it. Because their base is increasingly radicalized and increasingly shrinking. Because they're not the fastest growing segment of the population. Like, the Republicans have literally, like, adopted a strategy that makes it impossible for them to appeal to a mass audience at this point. They are all in on crusty, old, stick-in-the-mud white people. And that's not exactly a growing fucking demo. So the only way they can fucking continue to win elections at all is if they fucking place a thumb on the fucking scales and push as hard as they fucking can. Now, maybe in the future, they'll have to shift strategy and try to appeal to a few more demos. But for now, they ain't have to do that. For now, they can just fucking cheat. But eventually, they're going to have to fucking, you know, play a little fairer. What will we do with the WMDs when we realize we're all one? Bill Hicks. Basically. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, maybe it sounds silly, but, like, I think it does require, like, if you actually want to change things, it requires that level of awakening. It requires the population to be like, wait a minute, this is all fucking bullshit. This is all a giant scam. We see the nature of the scam. We can identify exactly how it operates. What do we do from here? But right now, most people still fall for the scheme. Most people still buy the scam. Even the people who fucking think they don't buy the scam continue to really participate in it one way or the other. You know? Like, you voting for one of these two parties doesn't change it. You're not fucking just changing it. You not voting. I will not vote. That doesn't change it. They go right into power anyway. Nothing is breaking the duopoly until we embrace some fucking alternative. And then it's a question of, like, will they even respect that? And if they don't, then maybe things have to go a little further. I don't know. Cross that bridge when and if we come to it. Right now, we're not even looking at the bridge. America's eye is still firmly on the carrot on the stick. We haven't even glanced at the fucking bridge yet. So, yeah, I'm not really counting on that at this point. But, you know, maybe. Doing my best. Are you familiar with Beau of the Fifth Column? If so, what's your opinion of him? I have watched a few of his videos, and I have enjoyed what I have seen, but I have not watched enough to have an opinion beyond just saying that I think that some of the stuff I've seen him say is good. I saw him say some stuff about policing in this country that I thought was very informative and interesting. And I find his aesthetic and attitude to be refreshing and authentic, but I don't know all of his politics or beliefs or whatever, so I don't want to speak too full-throatedly of an endorsement, but he seemed good from what I saw. The thing is, we aren't all one, maybe in a theoretical sense, but in reality, in material reality, we are all part of the same class of working people. That is what they truly fear. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just don't get too hung up on, you know, language games here. Apart from opposing left / upholding the status quo, what do Republicans actually want? I struggle to think of anything. Like Republican voters or Republican politicians? Republican politicians want to maintain the status quo and maintain power. That's it. That's all they need. Why would they not? I mean, like, if you have a status quo where you're the winner and you get everything you want in life handed to you on a silver fucking platter for very little effort, why would you rock that boat, you know? I mean, like, if you woke up tomorrow and, you know, everything you ever wanted was just, like, at your fingertips at a moment's notice, and all you had to do was fucking vote shittily on some bills that are going to affect a bunch of other people that are beneath you, that you don't even have to fucking, you're not even meant to concern yourself with them because you're totally isolated from them. You're with a bunch of other people who are like, yeah, this is the way to do it. So it's like normalized behavior among those politicians. Like, they're all just like, yeah. And you got all these rich people around you giving you gifts and money and fucking hot women to sleep with or whatever you're fucking into and shit. And, like, you know, you live in opulence and you got whatever the fuck you want, and, you know, your kids get to go to fucking the nicest college, and you get whatever medical fucking needs you have are just met, and, you know, life is great for you. So why the fuck, if you're in that position, are you like, I would like to change this status quo around, please? We basically want our expectation at this point, if we actually commit to the political system, is we want the beneficiaries of the system to be the ones who ultimately say we must dismantle this system. It's like, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's never going to happen. You're never going to get the people who benefit from the system to be the ones. It's like, if there's a law passed tomorrow that's like, you get a fucking free awesome blowjob from a new hot chick every day, assuming you're a dude who's heterosexual and you like having your dick sucked by hot women. I know it's presuming a lot, but I feel like a lot of you, that fucking matches your description. If there's a law like that, and it's like you wake up and, like, lo and behold, there's another fucking perfect 10 fucking beauties standing there, and she wants to fucking nothing more than to fucking polish your knob, right? You know, but then there's like some controversy out there, like, this law is exploitative, like, women should not be having to suck this dude's dick. And it's like, the only person who can change the law is you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real here. if you're the beneficiary of this shit and everything's great for you and everyone around you is like, amen, man, it's all good, and you're totally isolated and alienated from the people who take issue with what you're doing, you're going to fucking do it. That's what these politicians are like. Even if they go in there with the best of intentions, even if you get someone who's like a true believer, like, I want to get in there and change things, you guys, because this system is fucking broken. This system is fucked up, and I'm going to get in office, and I'm going to change things around. And then you get there, and they shove you in a few little committees and so on and so forth, and the next thing you know, you're living good, you got a nice place. All of a sudden, you're fucking being treated important. You got a bunch of sniveling kiss asses around you all the time telling you how fucking great you are. And your whole life just transforms into this, like, almost like fairy tale-esque, like, paradisical fucking existence of, like, yes, lavish me with praise, give me endless power, ha ha ha, wee! And then it's like, are you like, you're gonna, in the face of that, be like, I'm still about changing all this. It's time. It's time to change things. That's gonna get sucked the fuck out of you real quick. Even if you try to maintain it, like, it's gonna get diminished over time, and before too long, you're gonna be Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer or whatever the fuck. And you can hold it. Yeah, it's like a lifetime thing. You have to be like in your 90s before anyone starts to be like, maybe you're too old for this. And your vote, like, fucking constituencies, like, as long as you're not a fucking total goddamn embarrassment, they'll pretty much vote for you forever. Forever. If you were in charge of an intergalactic fleet of space vessels, would you share your tech with 21st century level societies or observe from afar? I don't know. I guess it depends on my agenda as a space lord. Who could resist this seduction? I mean, some people can. They're out there. They exist. But, they're few and far in between. Who would vote for Nancy Pelosi? Literally millions of people every time she comes up for re-election, or at least hundreds of thousands. Like, people have tried to challenge her. People have tried to primary her. It never works. She continues to win over and over and over again. I'm trying to talk to Sargon. He never reached out to me. I told him he could. He hasn't. He pretty much told me in that stream, now or never. And I'm like, well, if that's the fucking choice, then I choose never. You don't get to just come on here and be like, let me on. It's not how it works. We'll fucking discuss a mutually beneficial time if you want it. But I have a few other people to fucking get to that I've been promising a slot long before his ass showed up and demanded one. So, yeah. I want to be I'm trying to talk to Tara Babcock in the future. I'm trying to talk to Demon Mama in the future. I'm still a conversation with some vegan guy I can't remember the name of. There's a few other people, too, that I've been promising I'd talk to him for a minute, so he's going to have to get in line. Families of 9/11 victims seek $54 million in restitution from TJ Carter. He claims Spatula's perpetrated attack. I mean, hey, look. I've seen some very compelling footage of spatulas falling on the towers shortly before they were destroyed. Now, is that to say that, spatulas took down the towers? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. If you, whoever you are an intellectual person who needs to put things in perspective, mushrooms. I always wear my war paint. Dude, I love mushrooms, but I cannot fucking get them around here. I have the hell of a time trying to get them. If anyone can help me with that, let me know. You ever look at a bug and think it's cool looking? I mean, often? Not vegan gains. No, I have no interest in talking to vegan gains again. It sucks that intelligent aliens don't exist in our time/area space, or else we'd have heard their radio waves. Maybe there's no life at all. Maybe there is, but they've never invented tech. What makes you think they would use... Maybe their fucking communication systems are so far advanced of radio waves that we just, like... That we're not even looking for, like, the proper kind of signals, you know? Or maybe they may have entirely different fucking means of communication. Like, technology could have gone down an entirely different tangent in their, you know, social development. If shrooms were introduced to the South couldn't be the South anymore is the real reason. I'm convinced that if more people did mushrooms, our country would be a better place. Like, I almost feel like there should just be a law where everyone has to trip on mushrooms. Just look up Tara Babcock, my lord. Yes. TJ, what was the last video game you played on a console? Stray. It wasn't even that long ago. It was like a few days ago. Go to bed, TJ. I'm not even remotely tired, so no. After this, I'm going to go do, like, some yoga or something. And then I'm going to fucking try to write some shit, maybe. Why are you rocking back and forth? I don't know. I don't have ego death on shrooms. I have, like, ego boost. I tried shrooms. It didn't do anything personally. Maybe I need to try them again. Yeah, sometimes you get weak shrooms that suck. But, yeah, if you get some good shrooms, it'll do some life-changing shit. What it does is it causes something called, like, a neural avalanche that basically a lot of the connections that are preformed in your brain are, like, disrupted, and then hemispheres of your brain that never communicated with each other before are all, like, linked in, like, a brand new sort of, like, neural network. I don't know, that's probably not the right terminology, but it's essentially something of that nature. And totally fucking changes your mentality. My ego death from acid made me a better person. I don't lie and I don't dance around my problems with others anymore. Yeah, I think psychedelics and hallucinogens and shit tend to have positive effects on people. But unfortunately, large portions of the population are too chicken shit to try. I've had lung AIDS for more than 2 weeks. I don't want to go back to my call job. I work at a zoo instead. Grant me your wisdom, Ochichi. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But yeah, you should do whatever you want. I've typically eaten them straight. No, I've typically mixed them with stuff. I have eaten them straight before, though. It's gross. Last time I did a smoothie. I think I'll probably do that from now on. That was probably the most pleasant I've ever had them. Because I could kind of just surround them with sweet shit and then just chug it down quick. Still have a girlfriend. I have a wife. I guess that's kind of like a girlfriend who got a promotion. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you should necessarily do shrooms all the time, but I like doing them more often than I currently do. Opinion on cryonics. I'm fine with it. You know, if you want to try to live forever, I think you should be able to pursue that. Yeah, mixing LSD and shrooms does not make sense to me. That seems like a weird idea. Had them 2 times, each time nothing more than wavy vision. Yeah, it sounds like you had an insufficient dose. And maybe just a shitty strain, because there's different kinds too. You need something stronger. If all you're getting is some like woo waviness, like that's not enough. That's like the tip of an iceberg. You definitely want to go deeper than that. Shrooms make me laugh uncontrollably and make cocky comments. Well, here's the thing about hallucinogens that a lot of people don't fucking understand. You can't let the drug do all the work. Hallucinogen is not just like you lay back and just let it fucking... You gotta fucking cultivate that experience to some extent. And if you decide to do shrooms and just like watch movies and chat with your friends, then you're just gonna have like... It's gonna be like, haha, fun, laughy times. If you fucking go into some dark room and meditate or something, it's going to be very different. So, like, what you do on your trip is going to drastically affect the kind of trip you have. Even down to, like, you can cultivate... People say, like, I'm not getting any visuals. It's like, you got to cultivate the visuals. You got to work with the shrooms, all right? Like, the fucking direction you pull them is going to fucking be a factor. Now, you can't totally control your trip. It'd be pointless if you could. But, like, there's definitely ways that you can cultivate different manners of experience with it. I don't get microdosing. I love the macros. Yeah, I have no interest in the microdosing thing. I don't want to fucking make it some, like, daily fucking pill or something. You know, I just want to have a fucking trip every now and then. Not a fan of psychedelics. I have a hard time letting go and letting the trip unfold. The build-up is too intense. That can happen to some people. Like, you know, like, I've tripped with people before that they start to do this, like, almost parody of sobriety because they're so refusing to realize they're started to trip that they will, like, fight against it and get, like, really, like, tense and, like, I am fine. Everything is normal. I don't feel anything. And you can just tell they're tripping balls, but they just don't want to accept it. So they're, like, deluding themselves into thinking they're still, like, straight. And it's like, you're not. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is important to let go. It's important to fucking relax and fucking just be like, just yield to it. I took Abilify. You're hardcore, dude. Abilify? I mean, shrooms is one thing, but Abilify is hardcore shit. You know what I mean? I already talked about monkeypox. I got what I needed from shrooms. It was fun, but I have no desire to do it again. I mean, hey, whatever. I want to try microdosing. Yeah, I'm not interested in microdosing, but I'm interested in massive dosing. I feel like I'm at the point now where I want to go to the next level. Like, I want to take a bigger dose than what I've taken in the past. But I can't even find any, so bleh. Snort Zoloft. I mean, we all have done that. Come on. What's the point of microdosing? I don't know. Some people said it helps with, like, depression and other things like that. That's so true. You read me like a book without even knowing about me, TJ. What? Who the fuck are you? Dude, if I try to play a video game seriously tripping, I cannot do anything. I just wander in the woods. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a video game playing drug, I don't think. Death feel that, but acid, my ego death, while life changing was also one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. Yeah, I've never really had the ego death shit. Your promoted girlfriend seems interested in microdosing. Yeah, I know. I just responded to her. TJ, email me. I'll hook you up. You email me, motherfucker. I don't know your email. You're thinking of finishing your novel, Plague of Meaning. I decided to make the. That story was too big to just be one novel, and actually, Sexbot Uprising is like part of the Plague of Meaning as a series. So I'm writing the first book in I don't know how many. I don't want to go like crazy with it and try to do like 13 parts or something, but you know, I want to tell a story in multiple books. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. I'm not sure. But this is the first one, and you know, hopefully people will like it. I'm working pretty hard on it, trying to make it as entertaining as possible. You know, I'm hoping that I'm trying to write something that even if it's bad, it's gonna be like at least entertaining. You know what I mean? Like put enough crazy shit in it that like even if people are like this is like clunkily written or whatever the fucking criticism will be, like it'll still have enough interesting stuff for it to be like, you know, but still a pretty fucking interesting read just because like there was all this crazy shit in there. You know what I mean? Like I kind of want to be like that kind of book. But I'd like it to actually be good. But if failing that, I'd like it to be crazy enough to be entertaining. Imagine Jordan Peterson on shrooms, like watching him while I'm on shrooms, or him actually taking the shrooms. Probably fucking have some weird fantasy about his grandma fucking rubbing her pubes on his face or whatever the fuck. Yeah, you missed Alex Jones. You missed anything that's actually a topic of substance. For the last like hour or so, we've just been talking to the chat because all the fucking actual subject matter I've burned through at this point. Like, that's where we're at. Sounds like a Chuck Tingle book. It's not quite to that level. I don't want to go quite to the level of, like, he has, like, things about, like, the concept of time fucking a yak or something. You know, it's always some really weird shit with him. Like, my shit's not that fucking strange. Or at least not the same kind of strange. TJ looks like a character in Horizon Forbidden West. I don't even know what that is. Working on the systems of logic within my book is so fun, but also really draining. It can hit progression. Yeah. Sometimes like forward momentum is hard for me to find. Like a lot of times I will find that instead of moving forward with the story, I will like dig deeper and deeper into characters' backstories. And I'm like, you know, a lot of this stuff is probably going to hit the cutting room floor in the fucking main draft or whatever. Like, I don't know that all this backstory is necessary, but like, if it gets me writing something, then it's better than nothing. So hopefully, I can get the story fucking progressing at this point. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of the work is going to happen in the editing, but like, I need a fucking coherent first draft before I can fucking start working on that. Let me ban the cop in the chat trying to sell drugs. I mean, you know, we don't know it's a cop. If someone wants to fucking take the bait, you know, go ahead. TJ's got the Taylor's deficiency. What the fuck is that? If he does benzos, he definitely would do shrooms. PCP is too. You are too calm on the Stitching Out stream. You should unleash your inner lion on debate panels. You know, I find that, like, I can't really win in that situation because if I go on there and I'm a crazy asshole, people just be like, he just thinks yelling is an argument. He just thinks yelling is an argument. He thinks just being angry makes him right. But if I stay calm, it's like, he had no passion. He really backed down from a lot of his positions. He didn't show the same passion that he did before. It's like, man, no matter what I do, there's going to be some kind of fucking bullshit, right? Always some reason, some presentational reason not to actually listen to my words. Cops in the chat, chops in the cat. Go arrest Trump. Have you heard of Kumbh Mela? No. No passion at all. Too much passion. Not enough passion. Why do you guys think you own men's bodies? That's my question. You trying to tell me how I could have done different in a debate is trying to own men's bodies. That's what I know, sir. Well, I've been here for 3.5 hours. I think that's probably pretty good. Thank you guys for joining me with this one. Appreciate you all, even the fucking douchebags that sucked. But it seems like they kind of cleared out by now. But you guys are all cool. So love you all. Have a good night. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening or whatever time it is when you happen to see this. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Give this thing a rating. If you're not subscribed, do that shit as well. Peace. Someone, I didn't want to miss out on this person's super chat. As I was about to close it out, I saw that someone sent $5. I didn't want them to leave them hanging, like, fuck, I just sent that, and now he's fucking gone. So, Chaos and Rush sent $5. Says, Stray is my new favorite game, and I call the cat Scrunky. How far along are you? I'm not very far. I only played for like 2 or 3 hours. I understand it's not a very long game. But yeah, I've played it for a couple hours. Maybe I'm at the robot town or whatever the fuck. I'm supposed to go to the tower to talk to some guy. I don't remember his name. It's been a few days since I played it. I'm not like a big gamer, so I appreciate that it seems like it's maybe a little bit more friendly to casual people. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with it. But yeah, I just wanted to answer that person's question since they did give me some money. And I'm a whore, but I'm a good whore. I don't take the client's money and then not suck their cock. So, anyway, love you guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Oops, wrong fucking shit. Boom. That's also the wrong shit. God damn it. Which one's the fucking end screen? Here we go. I don't know how I forgot that all of a sudden, but there we go. Another fucking guy trying to be a fucking smartass, super chatting to keep TJ here forever. All right, Chris, thank you for the $10. Now I'm gone. Yeah, great. Well, we'll look at the butt for a minute because it is pretty. It's got some ripples to it. That is a nice one. I don't know why. I just noticed that her clothing is changing colors. Like, what the fuck is with that? I've never noticed that before. It's like I was distracted by something else. I don't know. Yeah, thanks, Chris, for your money. Now I'm going to go. Bye. All right, no more super chats. Goodbye. Thank you.